Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Dog here, and today I'm going to be doing the Blitz Players Personality Tier List. So, people have been suggesting for me to do this video for about 2.5 months now, and every time they suggest for me to do it, I kind of beat around the bush and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that sometime, but I never really mean it. And the reason for that is because this kind of video makes me very anxious and fearful at how people will react. Like, I don't want people to get genuinely hurt or offended by where I place them on this tier list, and I don't want people going out of their way to harass people I put in F tier and calling them a bad person, because that is just not true. I'm tiering people on how I've interacted with them over the years and how I see them. So how I see them is not the end-all be-all of how they are as a person. I'm sure these people are lovely people to hang out with in real life, and I'm sure they're great people. It's just my interactions with them may have not been the best. You know, maybe I've interacted with them when they're not on their best day over and over and over somehow, you know? Let's just all have good fun here. Let's just not take this out of proportion and blow it out of proportion. Nothing like that. Anyway, let's get started with the tier list. I just wanted to get that out of the way so that we all are on the same level here and we don't, you know, just make this something dramatic and something that it isn't. All right, so first person up is MC_Alex1337, or Quasar, as some of the older players know him by. This guy was actually a blast to have in a call. He was always the guy to make the joke that everybody laughed at. Very, very fun to have. Just a lighthearted guy on the internet to have fun. But it was pretty hard to have like a serious conversation with this guy. But over the years, he kind of matured and grew out of that joking stuff, because sometimes when he made a joke, it would be like a little dickish, and I think he realized that, and he kind of grew out of that. And haven't talked to him in a couple years, but when I did talk to him, I'd say solid B tier experience, you know. Oshawa. Okay, so as we all know, like, Oshawa and Ocal are pretty toxic people when they play teams and like they cheat. But I've actually talked with Oshawa in text a good amount outside of like them queuing teams, and she actually seems to be a pretty reasonable person that's kind of a little enjoyable to chat with. So based on the toxicity and based on the chat interactions I've had, I'd say that's a solid C tier. All right, Global Clutch. This is our first S-tier placement, my friends, because Global Clutch is an absolute force of positivity in the community. I have seen him around for about 5 years now, and I have never once seen him be toxic. And even when I was a toxic asshole, I would be super rude to this guy because I thought he hacked, and he never, ever acted on, you know, or even validated my rudeness by responding. He would just be like, okay, lol, haha. And when I get in calls with him, he asks you how your day was. He just is so positive, and he's just constantly complimenting people and trying to make them feel as best as they possibly can. This guy is like a genuinely, like, just such a good person. Like, you know, if I were to point and say, like, that guy is Jesus, it would be this guy. I'm like, that guy is Jesus in disguise. There's no way. Alright, so blatant final. This is sheamus. So, I've actually been getting in calls with the Rich Homies, which is like a friend group of a Cruz's friends, and like sheamus is amongst them. And sheamus is actually not that bad. A lot of people think that he's not that cool of a guy because of the shady activities that the Rich Homies get into. I'm not going to like clarify on that, but they are kind of shady sometimes, but sheamus is pretty alright to be around. You know, he's a pretty cool guy to talk to. I'm going to put him in C tier. Never really had a problem with him. He's kind of just there for me, and I just, you know, just hang around him, you know. Blushi. Okay, so as we all know, Blushi made the infamous Darian copy pasta that we all loved to copy paste like about 6 or 7 months ago, and other than that, I don't really have much interaction with him. He just kind of seemed like a very angry guy whenever I called him out for cheating. I got into a voice call with him like once or twice, and he seems like a lighthearted guy. He seems pretty cool, other than the fact that, like you know, he threw a rage baby fit because I thought he was hacking into Minecraft, so I'm going to throw up in C tier. Bobby Boy. Okay, so I don't really know much about this guy. I can't really say because I've never chatted with him, and the few times I've seen him chat, he's just kind of been really toxic, and I've seen him like in paintball being toxic to like my girlfriend whenever we queue him. But to be fair, she kind of like purposefully tries to piss him off. But anyway, just going to put him in can't say because I don't really know much about this person. Bryman242. Okay, so this guy and his friends, which it's funny because Backett is right after this, or Bucket, whatever. Bryman242 and Backett kind of like just redundantly call me out in lobbies, and they seem to try and be like ironically nice with me, which I don't really like it when people do that. He seems to be pretty chill in calls, though, so I'm going to put him in, like, C tier, but Backett I'm going to throw in D tier because I think this guy's kind of, like, annoying for no reason. Like, he's annoying for the sake of being annoying, which, like, you know, that's, like, I guess our first semi-low tier placement is Backett, but, Yeah, Bryman and his friends will like go out of their way to like call me out in lobbies and like ding me and like follow me into games and call me out when I'm nicked, and like it's really really annoying, and I've never gotten in voice chat with this guy, so for him to act like this to me is like really random, and I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. Calio, I do not know who this is at all. Caroline, okay, Caroline's actually pretty nice, pretty cool to chat with. I don't really know much else about her, but I've chatted with her a good bit in game, and she's pretty cool to be around. The Crossing Dash. Okay, so the Crossing Dash is actually an old friend of mine. I'm gonna throw him up in B tier because he's just kind of a chill kid. I don't know. Anything else, it's like going out of the way. Like I'm not gonna like really go in depth about most people because I don't really know much about him, but I do know that this guy's a pretty chill kid to talk with. He's pretty reasonable for his age, pretty damn mature, cool to have a conversation with. Haven't talked with him in a while though. I kind of miss that guy. DCP9, alright, this guy's actually really chill. I never talked with this guy until like 2019, but when I did, it was actually a blast. This guy is hilarious to talk to. I always loved like bantering with him about like, hey, when are you going to get 100,000 kills? And he took it in stride, you know, very reasonable person. And he knows exactly when to stop playing Blitz, which is something I admire in a person, obviously. Death Crit. Okay, Death Crit is actually kind of a homie. I really enjoy chatting with this guy. He is just really enjoyable to be around. Okay, I'm not going to put him in A tier. I'm going to put him in B tier, but I do really enjoy chatting with this dude. Ever since I called him out for cheats in my first player tier list, since then, he's just been like appearing in lobbies, and he just lobby sits a lot. I've had conversations with this guy that last like hours, just chatting back and forth in the lobby. He's so fun to chat with. It's crazy. He's the kind of guy that you can send like 1,000 texts to in a day and not feel weird about it, because he's just so like welcoming and nice. It's really cool. All right, so Derpy Dolphin, I don't really know this guy. I think I've seen him around in game a little bit, and I've never seen him chat, so like I really can't say. Dosa, all right, Daniel is honestly like a brother to me, and I've known this guy since 2014, and I was really good friends with him. But he was a little shithead back in the day, I'm not going to lie. He's probably going to smile and laugh this off, but let me tell you, Dosa was a little shithead back in 2014 when I first knew him. He would like troll me all the time. But over the course of like 2015, we private called a lot, and we became really good friends. And he kind of disappeared from the face of the earth for like 4 years, and recently he came back in the form of like Gooch Gang, which was his guild. And I was really annoyed by them at first, but I started talking with Daniel again, like on the side, or Dosa, whichever. And he's still a brother, you know? Definitely one of the best people I've ever met in my life. He's a homie. He'll be there for you through thick and thin. All right, he is an amazing dude. Dreary. Okay, so I honestly have never really liked Dreary too much because of how smug he is about like being legit when it's very obvious that he cheats. And I'm not really going to make this tier list too much about hacking, but when you're called out for something in Blitz and you don't take it in stride and you go out of your way to be an asshole about it, I will hold that against you, because I feel like that's kind of douchey. Like it's redundant and it's not really needed. And honesty is the best policy. I hold honesty very like a high value in people. And when people aren't really honest, especially over something as stupid as like Minecraft hacking, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. So I'm gonna throw Dreary in D tier. He doesn't really seem that bad of a dude in voice chat, but I just can't get past how like, you know, much of a like douche he is over the fact that he cheats and people call him out for it. And honestly, I feel like D tier's not that bad because he is a cool dude in voice chat. Okay, I'm gonna throw him in C tier. I feel like that was an unreasonable placement, but that is my thought process on him. All right, I'm gonna throw me in me tier. I'm gonna leave what you guys think of me to you guys. I am at your mercy. Like, please, you know, don't tear me a new one, but you know, let's just put me in my own tier and let you guys have your own thought process on me. All right, so Elk. I've seen this guy around. He used to be a helper, so I used to see him lobby sitting a lot and helping people out and just like talking with people. He seems like a pretty okay dude, and I would assume if somebody like John Full hangs out with him for that long, I'm just assuming he's chill because John Full's a pretty cool dude. But Elk, I'm just going to throw in a happy neutral C tier because, you know, he seems cool, you know. Because, I mean, if you're a helper, you know, you kind of have to be a chill and patient person, right? So, like, on that merit alone, I'm just going to put him in C tier. Trash Talk is actually a really cool guy to talk to. I used to think this guy was an asshole because he used to, like, boost teams so hard with his friends. But it turns out he was really just like playing with his friends that just so happened to be hacking, and he didn't really do it for the stats. And I talked with this guy in voice chat, and he was actually really, really fun to be around for a Dutch person, because normally I don't like hanging out around people with like super thick accents that don't speak good English, because it just kind of like makes me frustrated for no reason. Like, I don't hold it against them, but like, I don't know, like, if somebody can't speak English very well, I just get very impatient. And it's not with the person, it's more of just like, why are we living in a world where we speak like 300 different languages and we can't even understand each other half the time, you know? But yeah, iTrash Talk is very, very cool to be around, for sure. Very enjoyable person to talk to. Finsta. Okay, so I used to think Finsta was a massive asshole, I'm not going to lie. Like, I would have placed him like F tier in this tier list because he's behaved very strangely to me over the years. But generally, he's actually really cool to talk to. He seems like a homie, and I'm going to throw him up in the B tier because he seems like, you know, a casual homie. Like, when I need a casual teammate to talk to, just a casual guy to go to, Finsta is definitely one of my top on my list that I don't talk to him too much, but when I do talk to him, it is a good time. He's definitely like that guy I talk to like once every like week or week and a half to 2 weeks, and it's always a good time. Forearm. Okay, so Forearm has been super, super toxic to me over the years. Just, like, super insufferable and very rude, and just, like, he always mentions, like, my weight and stuff like that. And he just cheats really hard and shit talks really hard. So my experience with him has been pretty dirt poor. But I'm going to throw him an E tier, though, because my recent, like, chat interactions with him have been kind of, like, decent. Like, he hasn't been super toxic. But generally, like, I just see this guy as an asshole. Like, if you saw my DMs with this guy, you'd be like, wow, you know, he's being an asshole. And Darian, you're probably being an asshole, too. So, you know, it's, like, just not the best experience. iFrosty. I have no clue who this is. Holy moly. How do some of these people even get on this list? Because I don't even recognize some of these names. And, like, I'm like the encyclopedia for Blitz, and I don't even recognize some of these people. All right, GameBuster 101. So I knew this guy way back in the Kohi faction days, just like MC_Alex, and I began talking with him one-on-one when the groups all went their separate ways. Me and him talked for like an entire 6 months, just me and him in calls alone. We would play Blitz together, and we would just hang out, just talk about things, and he was a really good guy to talk to and just get your thoughts out on the table with. Very, very smart guy. Just emotionally intelligent. Always knew what to say when. But a few years down the line, I stopped talking with him as much, and he started being like this massive like asshole. Like, his jokes were kind of like MC_Alex's, where like they were funny but really annoying. So like I had him client side muted in Discord for like a couple of weeks, and then I finally unmuted him, and I was like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? And, like, he seemed all right. But anyway, since, you know, he was always a homie to me, I'm going to throw him up in A tier. He was an S tier level homie, but he was an A tier level homie. Honestly, well, I'm going to throw him up in S tier. Yeah. I feel like all of that, me client-side muting him and stuff like that was kind of immature on my part, but, you know, GameBuster's definitely an S tier homie. He was always a brother. You know, I spent a lot of time with this guy to not put him in S tier. You know, he was a really good guy. Genesis. I'm going to throw him in D tier because, like, this guy, like, I don't know, he just kind of seems like just a guy. I don't know. And whenever, like, he's... I don't really know this person very well, but, like, I've chatted with him a few times. Like, I call him out for cheating. He gives me the smug response. I guess for people like that, I'll just throw them in an automatic C tier because I don't really know much about this person to put him in anything other than, like, C. Because I know him, but I don't really know him, you know? Like, I've interacted with him enough times to have an opinion on him, and he just kind of seems like a dude. I don't know. Gyps. Okay, I'm going to throw Gyps in D tier along with Backett, because Gyps and Backett pretty much do the same thing, where, like, they're, like, ironically nice to me, and it's really annoying because I don't really like people that do that all that much, because it just seems really fake, and it's like, you know, let's just talk, let's just have a conversation, let's be normal, and it's like they can't be normal around certain people, so it's like, okay, I don't have a fun time interacting with you. Gyps is a little bit better than Backett, though, I will say that, because Gyps is a little bit more bearable to interact with, but still kind of the same behavior, so same tier. Hangan. Okay, Hangan's actually a really good guy to talk with, so I'm going to throw him up in B tier. I really enjoy texting this guy. Me and him had a rocky start because I would call him out for cheating, and he would get really defensive, and we would argue about it a lot, but recently we've been just having random text conversations about Blitz and about the game, and he seems to be kind of like me in the sense of he remembers a lot, he knows a lot, but he's a lot more in the background, and people don't really realize it as much as they do with me. But he's pretty much the same side, different coin, or same coin, different side type deal. Where like, you know, he's like the European version of me, basically. Where like we're both open encyclopedias of the game. We're ancient ass players, and we remember pretty much everything that's ever happened in the game. But yeah, really, really cool guy to talk to. Very like-minded person because we spent a lot of time in the same game mode. How many people do we have left? Holy fucking moly! I might just go through and put people in like don't know tier. Hardstyles. Oh, dude, Tom is an honest-to-Christ homie. Out of all of the Dutch people I've ever talked to, because the Blitz community has a lot of Dutch people, he is the coolest one. I love talking with this guy. Anytime I have a call with hard motherfucking Styles, it is a blast. This guy is the smartest Dutch dude I've ever talked to, the funniest, the coolest. Always a vibe being in a call with Mr. Hardstyles, I'm not going to lie. Well, honestly, is he S tier? Is he S tier material? I feel like being the coolest Dutchie definitely brings you to S tier. I don't know. I don't really talk to him that much, but when I do, it's always a blast. He always seems like a really casual guy. I'm gonna keep him in S tier. Hyperbole. All right, so Hyperbole is kind of a strange guy to me. He's very straightforward and honest, and he likes to talk about himself a good bit in calls, which I guess that's all right. I mean, you can't really blame someone for wanting to talk about their experiences in life and things like that, but he always rubbed me the wrong way for a certain reason, but, you know, upon talking to him a little bit more, he just seems like a casual and lighthearted kind of guy, and I can appreciate that. He's not really afraid to be himself on the internet, which is something that I respect very much, so I'm going to throw him up in B tier, honestly. Yeah, but iGPU. Now, honestly, iGPU is a really cool dude, and a lot of people don't really see it, and I'm willing to throw this guy all the way up in A tier because he's a really cool dude. Again, another guy that's not really afraid to be himself on the internet, and that's something I respect a lot. And I've actually talked with this guy a good bit, and I've texted with him. He's done me favors, like he's edited a video for me before, and it's water under the bridge with this guy. You know, me and him had like that giant, massive like flame war on a stream once. We just yelled at each other for like a long time. He's kind of like that friend that's back and forth. You know, I like that dynamic. By the way, I'm gonna throw MC_Alex1337 up in A tier, honestly, because he's one of my like closer friends over the years. So I'm just gonna like toss him up into A tier real quick. All right, Jedi Miner. So this guy has been making a lot of like rage threads about me where he calls me out for having like a narcissistic, egomaniacal personality where like I don't care about anyone or anything and I just want to like, you know, break the rules and stuff like that. And, you know, no matter that aside, I out of everybody that always texted me when my YouTube was first becoming popular, because a lot of people would text me on Discord and stuff like that, Jedi is the #1 guy that I liked texting the most out of any of them. He was always enjoyable to interact with. He made me a lot of skins and stuff like that. And honestly, he was always a cool guy to chat with. I remember we had this big argument once because I thought he was trying to piss me off on purpose. And I like flamed him. And that was my fault, honestly. It wasn't his. He handled it pretty well, though. So, like, you know, kudos to him. But generally, I'd say this guy's pretty damn awesome to interact with, and I'll throw him up in A tier. He was cool to talk with, too. He's a little bit weird, just a little strange, you know, a little bit dramatic when it comes to, like, the chatting and the shit-talking with me, but that's okay. I feel like I'm going to, like, move people around a lot in the tiers, like, but let's just keep it, like, you know, chill for now. Jeremy DeSheep. All right, so I've actually started talking to Jeremy DeSheep very recently. And he seems like a pretty cool guy to talk to, but he's definitely not B tier material, so I am going to throw him onto C tier. Very cool dude to hang around with. Pretty average conversations with this guy. You know, it's just you know, I always go to him when I need just a teammate. You know, just a casual talk here and there. You know. All right, so John Full. John Full is pretty damn chill. I'm going to throw him up onto the same tier with Elk. Since they're teammates, I'll just, you know, throw them right next to it. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. You know, Jeremy DeSheep, John Full. We'll keep it alphabetical order for the OCD motherfuckers out there. But John Full is a very just chill guy. He came to me and texted me about the tournament a little bit, and my interaction with him was pretty damn vibing, actually. Not going to lie. All right, so Jackson, I don't know who this is at all. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to, like, go really fast on the people I don't know. KNZKSN. All right, so I used to think this guy was a massive douchebag, same with Finsta, but he's actually pretty cool to hang around. I'd put him up with Finsta, honestly, because I'd say out of Finsta and K and Z, they're pretty much one and the same for me in the sense of, like, if I ever need a casual teammate that I play with, like, once every 2 weeks, and they're just kind of like that uncommon teammate that I have that I always have a good time with, K and Z would kind of match the same as Finsta. Same with Finsta, though. He used to behave very strangely to me, but that is over, thank God, so I will put him up in B tier. Kumite, so I'm assuming this is KXMA. I could look it up real quick and see if it is him, but if it is, actually, I'll look it up real fast because I want to know if I'm accurate about this. Hang on, wait, KXMA. We're gonna see if it's him because I want to be as accurate as possible. Okay, it is. Okay, I just want to be as accurate as possible with this tier list, and I don't want anybody like that I don't know to be on this tier list. All right, so Kuma is going to go in a solid C tier, honestly. This guy is pretty enjoyable to interact with and chat with. It's just pretty average. He's helped me with a lot. He made the Blitz Deathmatches tier list. That video is going to be coming in the future, by the way. And he made this tier list, so, you know, shout out to him. A very humble guy. When he won the Blitz tournament, he was very sorry about it. He didn't want to win. He thought it was, you know what? Actually, never mind. This guy's kind of a Chad. I'm going to throw him up at B tier. He's kind of a Chad, you know. Very humble guy. Immediately started apologizing to all the people who had been banned in the tournament that were ahead of him, and he said he didn't deserve the win. It was very, very heartwarming, you know. I don't know. I like stuff like that. I lost is a motherfucking homie. You know how I said Heartstyles is the first coolest Dutch person that I've talked to? I lost is definitely the second coolest Dutch person that I've talked to. This guy is a motherfucking homie. He's a very generous guy. He'll just buy stuff for people randomly. He'll just buy stuff like randomly. Like if you talk about something, he'll just buy it. Like for anyone, it's crazy how generous this guy is with his money. He thinks about people before himself. He's basically like Global Clutch in that regard, where like they're very generous people, very kind. Very, very fun to have a conversation with, surprisingly. A lot of people think that he's a little strange, but that's okay. He's not afraid to be himself, and I respect that. You know, it's another person that is not afraid to be themselves. Majestic Walrus, wow. Holy shit, not to get emotional or anything, but this guy has been a friend to me for a long time. He has been a brother, a mentor, honestly. When I come to someone, you know, not to get too personal, but my dad hasn't been too active in my teenage life, and I kind of had to find a mentor for me when it came to being a man in this world, and Majestic Walrus was that mentor for me every time I need help with anything when it comes to the ladies or like just living life in general. I go to Majestic Walrus. I know it's cringe saying his Minecraft username, but I don't know how like comfortable these people are with me revealing their names. I mean, I think everybody knows his name is Mason, but I don't know. But yeah, Mason has been a brother to me and a mentor and a very good friend. If I ever need somebody to talk to about anything, he is the #1 person on my list that I go to every single time. I will literally go to talk to him about things before I talk to my parents about things. That's how much this guy means to me. So honestly, S tier. If I were to order S tier, he'd go top of S tier for sure. Definitely a homie. Minecraft Plays MC, yet another homie. Minecraft Plays MC is one of the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life. He is so fun to talk to. Not gonna lie, he is okay. I'd say out of every single black guy I've ever met, this guy is like the king of them all. He's like the LeBron James of black people for me. So like out of every black person I've ever known, Minecraft Plays MC is LeBron James pretty much. He's like the king of, you know, darker skinned people. I hope that doesn't seem like racist or anything. I'm just trying to make a joke here. So please, let's not cancel me or anything, okay? I'm just saying he's a very cool guy. I'm trying to find a way to say he's a very cool guy, all right? He's like the Obama of Blitz. You know, he's the first black guy to ever hit 100,000 kills. Did you know that? Fun fact about Minecraft Plays MC, he was the first black guy to ever hit 100,000 kills. All of us are just whiteys or brownies out here, but he was the first man to truly bring it full circle with the color of skin, and he is a soldier for that. Salute to Minecraft Plays MC. But anyway, he is a very, very, very cool guy that I like talking to. I'm mentioning his skin tone so much because it's kind of an inside joke with me and him. Like, I'm the super white guy, he's the super black guy. It's just a funny joke we have, me and him. All right, so Milnex, a very, very cool. I feel like I talked about that for too long. I feel like I talked about that shit for way too long, and now everybody's gonna think I'm some like secret racist. No, I'm please, just relax. Do not lower your weapons. Stop. Milnex. Okay, so Milnex is actually really cool to talk to. He's definitely one of my go-tos when it's time to have a conversation. Actually, I'd put him in B tier because he's kind of like Finsta. I don't talk to him all that much, but when I need somebody to talk to every like 2 weeks, you know, that fun guy that I'm going to call with for 2 weeks, it's totally Milnex. Other than that, though, you know, he's a pretty fun guy, pretty fun to be around. It's pretty like surface level shit. All right, Misty_C. So I never really had much interaction with this person, but based on what I have chatted with them, he seems to be... Actually, I'm going to put him in B tier. He seems to be a really reasonable and cool dude in the same way as Deathcrit. Like, I've never voice chatted with him, but he seems to be very mellow, very relaxed, fun to talk to, very laid back, easy to interact with, and things like that. Holy shit. I can't get over the shit I said about Minecraft Plays MC, but anyway, Misty_C is very chill. But yeah, Minecraft Plays MC is a brother, all right? Just don't forget that. That was the main point of what I was saying. You know, skin tone jokes aside, Minecraft Plays MC is a homie. All right, Ms. TLE. I kind of think this is Mizuo. We're gonna check real quick. I think this is him. Actually, wait. We're just gonna go to name MC real fast and check that. Okay, MZTILE or TLE. We're gonna check that. Oh, it's not. It's available. Ms. TLE. Is this Mizuo or something? I feel like this is Mizuo. Mizuo. Is this Mizuo? I feel like this is Mizuo. I don't know. Like, I think it is him. I'm just gonna like pretend that this is Mizuo right here. I'm just gonna like pretend that it's him. I don't know why. I think maybe that's a typo. Oh yeah, T is really close to you. Okay, I'm just gonna like pretend that's a typo. Okay, so Mizuo is actually a homie. He is a very cool guy to talk with, and I really enjoy being around him. Honestly, I'd throw him up in A tier. He's a really, really fucking cool dude. I really enjoy talking with this guy. I talked with this guy like for the first time, not even like 3 weeks ago, and the first call I had with him was a blast. I talked with this guy no problem for like 4 hours. He's the type of guy that you'd pass on the street and have a conversation with for the rest of the day. Like, that's what this kind of guy is. Like, he is dope as hell. All right, MQSE. So Mason Storm is actually a really kind guy. And pretty positive dude. I'm going to throw him up in B tier because I've just been told that he's really positive by a lot of people, and I've been told he's really enjoyable to be around. And based on word of mouth, I'm going to put him in B tier because, honestly, if that many people vouch for you, I'm going to claim you're pretty chill too. And every single time I've ever called him out for anything and tiered him on a player tier list or said anything about him or had any kind of opinion, he's been very reasonable and open-minded about it, and I can appreciate somebody who's open-minded in a community where people struggle with that, which is a problem in Blitz. People have struggled with open-mindedness very hard, and he seems to be a very open-minded individual who's ready for anything, very middleman with takes, and I like that because I'm similar in that way. Music is life. Pretty chill person. I can't really say much about them, but every time I've ever texted this guy, it's been a pretty casual conversation. I can't really say much else. Nazir, dude, Nazir is pretty cool to be around. He's kind of like that party guy. He joins and everybody's like, oh, it's Nazir, let's go. I'm going to do it on purpose. Like, this is the only, that's the only person I'm ever going to mention, like, skin tone with his Minecraft Plays MC. I'm still kind of, like, stuck on that a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Because, like, I probably should not have made that joke in a video. But you know what? They're just going to let it fly. Who cares? All right, Nazir is honestly really cool. He's like a party animal, Neil. You know, he's like he walks up in the call. He's the Dutch guy. He's got the chains. He's the cool guy that walks in the call. He's like, it's a party. Naz is here. Let's go. I literally, no, quite literally, every time that he joins a call, everybody is like, oh, it's Naz. Let's go. Every fucking time. No fail. And he's a pretty fun guy to be around. He's like the hype man. Nube, all right, so Nube is actually really fun to be around. A lot of people don't like him because he boosted a lot of team wins with iGod or whatever the hell, but he is a very reasonable person and very cool to have a conversation with. Very laid back. I've never seen this guy rage at Minecraft. It's fucking crazy. He's like the least rage-prone person I've ever seen. To be fair, he did like boost a lot, so like maybe it's hard to rage when you're teaming with like a person who's like borderline b-hopping, but I mean like generally pretty chill and laid-back guy. He's like, you know, he's like Jello, you know? His personality's like Jello. It's squishy, and you can just dip your spoon into it and eat it, you know? That sounded pretty fucking gay, but I'm gonna move on now. Yeah, we're gonna so we've covered. So apparently I'm gay for Nube, and I am racist towards Minecraft Plays MC. Let's go, awesome. We're having a great video so far. O Blitz and O Cal. What's up with the lowercase O's and then the name? O Blitz is a very cool dude. He is an absolute home slice. Very cool to interact with. Very cool to text. Fun to have in a voice call. Just a all-around enjoyable guy. I like talking to him. Oh, Cal. So this guy's kind of a dickhead. I don't want to get like, too deep into the not too deep into the details. I'm sounding like it's way more deep than it is, but he's just kind of a dick. I don't know. He's just very toxic. I've never had a decent interaction with this person. Actually, I'm gonna throw him in E tier. I've never had, actually F tier. I don't know. I've never had a decent interaction with Ocal. He just seems like such an angry guy, like all of the time. I have never, ever had a conversation with this guy where he's not trying to piss me off or be a really rude and invasive person. It's just really weird, and it's really dumb and pointless, and it's like just uncomfortable, Like, I don't like interacting with this guy, and I'm very glad he's been banned from the server since, September 30th or something like that. All right, so Pugs. I don't have much interaction with this person. It's been pretty average, me and him. Just kind of like chatted with him here and there. I've had a few like altercations with him in the past where like we'll disagree on things and like we'll kind of have a little bit of flame war back and forth. But like other than that, he's a pretty cool dude. I mean, like I can't really say much about him other than like that. Like, we've had altercations in chat, but he seems like just a dude. Red Meat. Okay, so Red Meat, I knew him a little bit. He kind of seems average. He loves bragging about his job and his car, which I find, like, really funny. I don't know, like, I don't I don't mean for it to be, like, I'm not roasting him or anything. I find it genuinely, like, funny whenever he talks about his car. It's like every conversation he's like, so, did I tell you about my car and my job? But it's like, yes, you told me about your car and your job. Okay, let's fucking, come on, let's have a conversation now, But no, it just seems like a dude, just average C tier guy. Sean Lowell. All right, Sean is a brother. I've known Sean for about 2 years now, and he is one of the most considerate, nice people, and just I mind my own business type of people that I've ever met in my life. He doesn't really bother anybody before they bother him, and he is one of the coolest people to talk to that I've ever like had the pleasure of talking to in my life. But yeah, he's definitely one of my closest friends to date. I don't text with him that much or call him that much anymore, but whenever I need somebody to talk with, Sean is definitely pretty damn high up on that list, regardless of whether we talk or not. No matter how long, I could not talk with this guy for 5 years, and I could just randomly DM him, and he would be very ready to have a conversation. So I appreciate that about him. Sheban. All right, Sheban's actually pretty damn cool. I play Brawlhalla with this, or I've played Brawlhalla with this guy from time to time. I'd put him up in A tier, honestly. Pretty cool guy to talk with and hang around. He's pretty quirky. He's a very quirky dude. He's a little strange, but I like that about him. A guy that's not afraid to be himself on the internet. And actually, I'll throw him down in B tier. I'm not gonna put him in A tier. I'm not gonna be ridiculous. Okay, relax. Okay, and B tier is pretty good though. All right, B tier is where it gets positive. Right, C tier is the average in anything. So like D, E, and F tier are like negative. D is the least negative. E is negative, and F is like very negative, and then C is like average. B positive. A pretty positive. S very positive. All right, let's just keep it that way. But yeah, Sheban's a pretty cool guy to talk to. Sinful Alex. All right, Sinful Alex seems like a pretty positive and cool guy. Very helpful. I like that about him. Every time I see him chatting in like Blitz Hub Discord or on the forums, he's trying to help somebody out, and he's trying to just help him out, kind of like chill with them, stuff like that. And I've interacted with him, and he seems like a very chill, lighthearted dude, and I appreciate that about a person. Just being helpful in a community. It's nice. It's good to see from up-and-coming players because, he's been very helpful. He's made pretty good YouTube videos and stuff like that. I like people who give more than they take, Sirhun. Okay, so I've had a lot of interactions with Sirhun over the years whether it's like, me just texting with him and talking with him or trying to get things added into the game. My experience with this guy has been, like, good and bad. So I'm going to put him, this is, like, the most genuine C tier I'm placing so far because he's done some pretty shady things in the past. Like, for example, he said, if I go 11 months without getting an infraction and I want to apply for HBC, he has, like, this secret plot to get me permanently banned from the server because he didn't want me to be HBC, right? So, like, stuff like that kind of makes me, like, take a few steps back from him. But, like, I've been in voice calls with him, and he seems like a really cool guy to talk to. But also, like, he's really, really stubborn and controlling and, like, power-hungry when it comes to, like, the whole HPC gig and, like, the fact that he's in a really good guild or whatever, and I've heard pretty negative stuff about him, but I'm not going to let word of mouth affect, like, what I feel about him. Like, this is just genuinely what I think, but other than that, he is very enjoyable to talk to, but outside of talking to him in voice calls, it's, like, kind of a negative experience generally, I'm not going to lie. Let's see, Sosa. All right, Sosa is a homie. I have known Sosa for so damn long, it makes no sense. Like, it seems like I've only known him for a year, but I've actually known this guy for like 4 fucking years. I don't even think he realizes it either. I've known this guy ever since he's had like 10K kills in Blitz. And he's always a pleasure to talk with in voice chats or text. He's definitely one of the Blitz players that I text the most outside of any other. And I'm always interacting with him in like Fading Echo's Discord chat, always just having a conversation with him. He's always fun to troll and banter with. Like, we'll always join forces and like troll the Fading Echo's Discord chat. Always funny. Very funny guy, very fun to talk to. Definitely one of the A-tier homies. I would dap him up. I would indeed. I cringed a little bit. I never say that, but you know. SpeedSilver. All right, SpeedSilver is definitely he's an S tier. He's an S tier. I cannot thank this guy enough for everything he's done for me. You know, he shouted me out on multiple occasions. He's given this channel a lot of traction with the UHC community, and he gave me something that I've wanted for a long time. And I think that being humble and being able to acknowledge other people's efforts that are lower than yourself in a field is just so admirable and so great to see. Like, he has, what, 300,000 subs now? And when I first started talking to him, he had like 90,000 subs. He's like one of the most humble people that I've ever met. When it comes to YouTube, you'd expect him to have this massive narcissism, egotistical kind of attitude, but he's very chill and mellow, and he just wants to be treated like a human, and he treats people like humans, you know? Very enjoyable guy to speak to and interact with, and I cannot thank him enough for all the stuff he's done to me. Definitely one of the S-tier homies and a brother, you know? I'm doing that little, you know, that thing they do, there's like homies do, they grab each other's hands and they pull, they bump the shoulders, you know what I'm talking about? I sound really antisocial right now, but I'm not, okay? I talk to people. I do. All right, so Spidey. Oh, man, this one. I bet a lot of people have waited for this one. So Spidey has been very weird to me in text over the years, and I haven't really enjoyed interacting with him all that much because he just seems to be very bizarre, but he's not afraid to be himself on the internet, and I can give kudos to that. But every time like I text with him, it's either like neutral or very like not the best interaction, right? Because sometimes he's just very, very opinionated, and he's very, very invasive with his opinions, and he will repeat his opinions over and over to you, whether you want to hear them or not. So I can respect somebody with that kind of effort, though they put that kind of effort behind their opinions. So I'm going to throw Spidey in a happy neutral C tier. I didn't mean to say D, sorry. I'm going to throw Spidey up in C tier because, honestly, I take back what I said by, like, very negative. I haven't really had any very negative interactions with this guy. He was kind of very invasive when the update stuff was coming around, but honestly, other than that, it's just kind of like a C tier for me. Very genuine C tier placement. Same with Sirhun. You know, it's both negative and positive a little bit. All right, Stardark. Okay, this guy is kind of going in F tier. Like, I don't really like this person, like, on a fundamental level because of how he acts on the internet. He treats the internet like it's a joke, and he treats everything like it doesn't really matter to him because it's a screen. And I've never really enjoyed people like that because my mom would always do that to me when it came to, like, my internet friends, and she kind of still does that to me over the years. She kind of, like, asks me these, like, sus questions like, oh, you don't really know them as a person. Like, he just doesn't really get the internet. And I've seen him do some snakish stuff over the years, and it's just very sus behavior. And I don't really, I don't like him as a person, but, like, I'm not really going to go too deep into that. Like, it's just every interaction I've had with him has been more negative than positive, and I can't really put him in E tier because I fundamentally disagree with how he acts on the internet. I'm sure he's a great guy in real life, but on the internet, I just fundamentally disagree with his attitude and how he acts, right? It's like when you take a step forward with Stardark, he'll take 2 steps back, and then he'll take, like, 1 step forward towards you and then 3 steps back. It's like a constant, like, you know, back and forth with this guy. You know, it's crazy. Tarnus. Okay, so I've had some altercations with this guy in the past in chat, but generally it's like a C tier placement because I've gotten voice chats with him, and he just kind of seems like a guy that wants to mind his own business. He kind of just wants to play Blitz. At least that's how I see him when he was, like, talking in the voice call. I've only gotten in 1 call with him, but I've seen him text a little bit. I've had a few altercations with him in the past, like I said, relating to him hacking. Like, I would call him out for hacking, and he'd be like, no, I'm not, haha, and, like, he'd try to, like, piss me off and get me mad and stuff. It even went as far as to, like, I invited him into a call with me to screen share or some stupid shit. It was very dumb behavior on my part, very immature behavior on my part, but but yeah, he handled that situation pretty well. He was kind of just clowning around about it, and, you know, I can appreciate that. Tupan, all right. Tupan has actually become a homie recently. He is very, very enjoyable to talk to. I used to really dislike Tupan because Tupan and I used to hate each other's guts for no reason. Looking back on it now, it's pretty hilarious. Like, we'll joke about it in calls from time to time. But, yeah, definitely one of the more enjoyable people that I'll get into voice chat with. Very, very cool guy. Very dope dude. Very, very funny. Very cool. Not afraid to be himself on the internet. And he's very self-aware about things in life, you know, which I can appreciate in a person. Very, very cool. Toxic plays Blitz. Oh, man. This guy, Julian. Mr. Julian plays Blitz. You are a brother to me, my friend. If I were to point at a Blitz player, I'd say Majestic Walrus is more of a mentor to me, maybe an older brother. But if I were to say somebody is just a genuine equal to me, like a companion, a genuine brother, it is you, man. I've talked with this guy for about 4 years now in calls. I spent an entire summer with this guy just playing Blitz every single day. We would call for like 8+ hours every day, similar to how I did with Gamebuster and Dosa. And I have met up with this guy several times, and he's one of the coolest people I've met in my life. Like, based on all the friends I've had in my life in person, Julian is one of the most laid back, very open-minded dude. He does not judge too critically when he's online or in real life, and just very open-minded dude. Yeah, if I were to say if I were to say someone is Jesus 2, it would be Julian, right? Because Global Clutch is Jesus 1, and Julian is Jesus 2. Actually, here, Jesus 1 is Adrian, or Brown Jesus is Adrian, White Jesus is Julian, and Black Jesus is Minecraft Plays MC. All right, there we go. All right. Global Clutch, Brown Jesus, White Jesus, Toxic Plays Blitz, Black Jesus, Minecraft Plays MC. Okay, we've got it out of the way. Okay, cool. We've done it. We've created a trinity here that works. All right, so Trevi. I honestly don't like how this guy acts online. He's very weird. And kind of like it's kind of like with Gyps and Backett. He's just kind of like ironic about everything, and I don't really like appreciate people like that on the internet. I don't really like people who behave that way, and it's really just as simple as that. Every interaction I've had with this guy, he always has to throw in some irony bullshit where like you don't really know if he's being genuine or not, and it's not really someone I would want to go out of my way to talk to. Trivia. All right, so trivia, I don't really know. Like, I've seen them around in the community, but I really just don't know anything about this person. I've never even texted at them in general. 2 facts. Okay, so 2 facts I'm going to have to put in, like, E tier. It's the same as Forearm, where, like, they're very, actually, I'm going to throw him in D tier. I'm not going to judge too harshly on him, but what I have seen of him is he's a very toxic person when it comes to, like, hacking and Blitz and things like that. I think this is one of, like, the Brazilian people, like zLubra, Fulhino, and all them, where, like, they'll just hack on everybody, and it's, like, they're very, very toxic. But I'll get to the rest of them later, but generally pretty much just a average D-tier placement for you. All right, so iWavy. All right, I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. I love how I started with, like, all right, iWavy, like I was going to say something important, but I don't know this person at all. All right, Wolfie-chan. Okay, so Wolfie-chan, yeah, I'm just going to put him in F tier. I'm not going to get too deep into the details, but it's same with Stardark. I fundamentally disagree with this guy's behavior and how he approaches things. I have seen a lot and heard a lot from this guy to safely say that he is an F tier placement for me. Like I said, I'm not going to get into specifics or anything, but I do just disagree with this guy. He's very, very toxic to people, or he was. Okay, to be fair, I have not interacted with him in a long, long time. But I do still disagree with how he behaves on the internet and the things he's said and the things he's done. And, you know, like I said, this tier list is not going to be too serious. I'm not going to, like, tear anyone a new one, but I'm just going to give pretty surface-level opinions when it comes to people I dislike. But generally, yeah, he's just very toxic, and I've seen him be pretty weird to my friends, including Jedi. We probably all know what I'm talking about here. Like, if you know Wolfie-chan, you know exactly what I'm referring to. I'm not going to, like, get into specifics, but that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. All right, so Clush. Clush is actually a C tier for me. I've had some negative interactions with this guy, but he kind of just seems to be a dude on the internet, you know, like he's like the poster boy of guy on the internet. It's like that kid they use in advertisements for like 90s advertisements for the internet. He's just kind of there, you know. He's just. I'm kidding. But I kind of have had some negative interactions with this guy in the sense of like we would flame war at each other, but generally. I do not really care much about that, so I'm just going to put him in a happy neutral C tier. Dark Pulse. Okay, another C tier where I've had like negative interactions with this person, but some positive. It's pretty much just about that. You know, it's a lot of these C tier placements are going to be generally the same. If they're not, I will clarify. But you know, Dark Pulse is pretty much the same as Clutch, where like I've had some negative interactions with them, which were probably my fault, and then probably as in like they probably were. More than likely they were, right? They were my fault and not theirs. And you know, generally they're pretty chill people, though. I would assume. Don't be sad, dude. I have no fucking clue who this is. Just Woke Up. I'm going to put Just Woke Up in D tier because he just seems to be a very angry person. Just very, like, hostile at all times. To be fair, I interacted with him the last time, like, a year and a half ago or, like, 2 years ago. Or, no, it was, like, a year and a half ago, yeah. But still, it's, like... It's actually a year and a half ago on the dot, actually, like April 2019, yeah. But still, it's like, how are you so angry, like, all the time? How is this even a possible thing for you? You know, like, just how? Just be happier. Be more okay with life, please. Sweatily Clicking. All right, so Sweatily Clicking is kind of a homie. He's more of one of my casual homies, not going to lie. If there's somebody that I want to like chat with like once a month and it's always a great damn good time, it is Sweatily Clicking. I have a lot of memories with this guy from back in the day, back when I owned Proximity, which is my original Blitz guild. He was always a very funny guy to talk with. He always used to piss me off a lot. I never really said this, but like he used to piss me off so much, just the way he acted. Then again, back then I had a stick up my ass, so this doesn't really mean much. But I was so pissed at this guy's like existence for a while. He would always troll the shit out of me and, like, have riots in my guild and stuff. But, you know, looking back, it was all good and fun. And I appreciate this guy's existence and his interactions in my life, you know? All right, so Skinny, and by the way, looking back on F tier, let me reiterate, like, nothing personally against these people. I'm sure they are very cool people in real life. I just have not had the best interactions with them on the internet. Okay, I just want to reiterate that real quick at the 45-minute mark here, or 46 minutes, actually, as I was saying that. Skinny, all right, so I'm going to put this guy in C tier. He kind of seems like a pretty just happy, neutral guy. If there was ever a guy who was just neutral good, it would be Skinny. I don't know. Every time I interact with this guy, it's just the most average, like, thing, and I cannot place it. He's like the king of C tier, basically. Like, I don't know. I don't really, like, know much about this guy other than that, you know, pretty neutral guy. Super. Okay, so I've seen this guy around a little bit, and I've chatted with him just a microscopic bit, and it's been pretty neutral. It's just been like a, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? You know, stuff like that. It's just like casual. He probably doesn't even remember it. I mean, I barely do. I'm sure we've chatted more, but all I can remember is like we've said hey in passing a couple times, and based on that, I'll just throw him up in C tier. You know, why not? Diversity PvP. Okay, this guy's actually really enjoyable to talk to. He's a pot player that came to Blitz, and I was talking to him because he was like a mutual friend that I found through Dosa, because he owned Gooch, and like Diversity PvP was like in that Discord, and I talked with him a good bit, and he was actually a really, really cool guy. Did not have an ego of any sort. He was similar in the same with SpeedSilver, where he was very humble at the fact that he was very talented at this video game and generally better than most people that he was talking to. And he gave a lot of tips on his YouTube channel, and he was willing to like coach you on how to PvP for free. Like, very, very helpful guy, and I like that about him. All right, so Elemental Bros. Let's see. Elemental Bros is one of the nicest people that I've ever come across. Actually, fuck Toxic Plays Blitz being White Jesus. Elemental Bros is White Jesus, okay? Elemental Bros is one of the coolest people I've ever talked to. If I were to say there's one person that could be like the coolest person in the Blitz community in the sense of like nobody dislikes them at all and they're like generally the most liked person, I'd say it's definitely Elemental Bros. I mean, that has nothing to do with my personal opinion of them. Well, actually, it does. I do like that Elemental Bros. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, the fact that his name is Adam is pretty public. I mean, all he says is, I'm Adam, like, everywhere. It's, like, his main joke. So, like, okay. Adam is pretty much universally loved in the Blitz community. Everybody likes him, and I appreciate that about him. Like, he's very chill, and he likes to be cool with everybody. And he's a very, very awesome guy to talk to. You can tell this guy anything, and he is just ready to talk with you. He's the most open-minded dude, or one of the most open-minded people and nicest people I know. He's honestly, I'd say he ties with Adrian for, like, nicest people I know, or Global Clutch, sorry. Fuck. I keep messing up. I keep saying people's names, and I don't want to do that, because a lot of people are going to watch this whole video. All right, so zLubra. Let's go to zLubra. All right, so zLubra is, honestly, he used to be a really toxic guy, but I've had some pretty decent conversations with this dude in text, and I feel like he's just kind of misguided. Honestly, I'm going to throw him up in B tier. He's a pretty cool guy, and I feel like Fulhinho and his like other friends that are very toxic like drag him down a lot as a person, but generally I think he's pretty cool to talk to. He was a very toxic dude to me for like a couple of years, but then like he would go back and forth from having like a very chill conversation with me to like being very toxic, and it was very back and forth, kind of like with Stardark, but like not even remotely as bad. But zLubra was or is a pretty cool guy, and we have a good bit in common, and I just like talk with him every couple of like weeks, just have a like text conversation. Very fun guy to talk with, honestly. 500 underscore. So I don't really know much about this guy, but I have chatted with him a good bit, and I could say like he's just pretty happy neutral placement. I'm gonna do some speed run rounds here, like just because the C tier I'm talking way too long. So from now on C tier I'm just gonna like buzz through them, just be like, all right, happy neutral, unless I need to like specify anything. Fode, pretty happy neutral. Don't really have an opinion on this person. X muted. Same with everyone else. It's just like happy neutral. Hang on, let me actually go on NameMC to see who this is exactly, because I don't know really. Hang on. X muted. Is it this guy, or is it like there are a lot of people named X muted that might have been in the Blitz community? I recognize two of these people. Okay, I've seen a lot of X muteds over the years. I don't know. I think based on so X muted. From what I remember from this person, they were chill. I've seen two X muteds on Blitz in my time on the server, so I'm just gonna kind of tier them as one person. They're pretty chill. I don't know. That's kind of like an awkward kind of like part there, because I don't really know if this is like they tiered for the one person or the other, because I recognize either person, or I'm pretty sure I do. I'm like 99% sure. But if it's the person that I know better, they are pretty chill. Okay, I'm gonna put them in B tier. They're pretty cool. All right, Zombu. Okay, so this guy is pretty... Okay, cool. Awesome. My Steam is showing notifications. So, as you can see, Dosa is now playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Awesome. Or Gooch. So, Zombu is one of my better friends. He thinks that I, like, hate him or whatever, but I don't. He's actually a very smart kid. He's very cool to talk to. He can be pretty fucking annoying at times, but... genuinely, I think his heart's in the right place, and I think he's a pretty damn cool kid to talk to. Definitely going to throw him up in A tier with the homies tier. He's made it. He's earned it. He has earned it. But yeah, so Godly Aura. By the way, the X muted thing, sorry for the confusion. I'm pretty sure that it's the girl and not the guy. I think it's two people, so I think it's a girl and a guy, and I've interacted with them both over the years, but the one that I know more is the girl, so I'm just going to tier it on that alone, and she was pretty chill. That I feel like that was pretty weird, but yeah, she was pretty chill. All right, so Godly Aura, or like she was fun to talk with anyway, or like interact with. So that's like what B tier is. So like B tier, chill to talk with, and I feel like I didn't like clarify that enough. I don't know. My OCD is going off. I feel like I have to like really clarify where like these people stand. So like X muted, cool person to interact with, so they get B tier. It's not a happy neutral placement like C tier. All right, Godly Aura. My interaction with this person's been pretty average, I'd say. Pretty average. John PlayMC, do not know this guy. Get down there. Sought, very rarely interacted with this guy, but basically it's just been pretty chill. Example, do not know you. Trippy Red 14. Okay, so this is Sasuke Plays, apparently. I think he's on this tier list twice under two different names, but I'm just going to like base him on this name alone because this was his alt account. Okay, so he's actually pretty cool to talk to. A lot of people think this guy is a douche canoe, but I think that he's pretty cool to hang out with in calls. It's a pretty cool guy, Like, I'd say he's definitely above C tier, but not quite A tier. A tier is for the homies that I will go to like, I'll go out of my way to talk to, All right, Technoblade. I didn't know much about this guy other than the fact that he was, like, a self-proclaimed egomaniac, and honestly, people like that I don't really appreciate on the internet. And I've heard a lot about this guy from people who've talked with him a lot, and based on what I've heard, I'm going to throw him like in D tier. I interacted with this guy one single time, like it was very, very quick. He was like, he joined a call with me for like a few seconds, and like I interacted with him right there. Like it was like a trade of words a little bit. Like I don't even think he noticed I was there. I think he was just there to like talk with somebody. This was back when like the Uganda Discord, or not Discord, TeamSpeak was a thing for like the Kohi faction. So that was like very quick interaction with him. That's pretty much it though. feel like I should clarify that because like I think I said that I hadn't, and that's like not true. I hadn't interacted with him. That is Bromlab. All right, so Bromlab's pretty C tier for me. Pretty negative and positive interactions. I used to like get into a lot of flame wars with this guy because I thought he was like hacking and I thought he was like denying it all the time. But generally seems to be a pretty chill guy. I've talked with him a bit about the update, I believe. I think we've had some pretty chill conversations in DMs. I'm pretty sure. All right, so Dark Angels. Dark Angels is a homie. He's one of the chillest people I've met in my life, and honestly, I appreciate this guy because out of everybody in Blitz that I've ever met, he's the most brutally honest, and I think brutal honesty is something we all need in life. We all need to get a slap in the face on how we're acting. Like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I'd say, like late 2018, I was off the rails. You know, I was a toxic guy. And I had an argument with Dark Angels that woke me up. And I appreciate him for that. And I give him kudos for that to this day. Because it takes some balls to be brutally honest on the internet. Alright? Especially in a community like Hypixel or Blitz especially. Alright? So definitely a very pleasurable guy to talk to. Lastico Dezel. Alright, so I haven't really interacted with this guy much. But what I have seen from him is pretty just average. You know, I've interacted with him very rarely. Very rarely. He's a very old Blitz player. X Hasco X. Okay, so honestly, I'm going to put X Hasco X in D tier because this guy kind of just seems like a man-child to me. Like, you guys all know the clip that I'm talking about, right? Where, like, the tourney clip where, like, Tild is recording X Hasco and X Hasco's, like, screaming and throwing a fit over dying in the tournament. He's cheated for years and denied it, and he's always very smug about it, tries to make people mad when they come at him for it, and I've had a little altercation with this guy in, like, 2017, 2016. Never really enjoyed him that much. He kind of seems like an elitist, and now that he's an admin, I kind of, like, I don't know, I don't resent him for being an admin, but, like, I think, like, he's just going to be one of those admins that kind of ignores the community generally, and they just do their own thing. So, X Hasco X is thrown into D tier. Honestly, well, E tier. Not too pleasant, this guy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's chill to talk with, like, one-on-one, but from my interactions with him, it's definitely been an E tier. Or should it be a D tier? Should it be a D tier? Okay, it's going to be a D tier. All right, I'm going to throw him in D tier. Relax. All right, so Sly Pro. All right, so I have been an asshole to this guy for a while, or I was an asshole to this guy a lot of the time, but when I did talk with him once in a voice call, I talked with him one time in a voice call. We played teams together one time. It was a good interaction. I feel like I judged this guy very incorrectly over the years, and I feel like I let my emotions get in the way, and the fact that I wanted first very, very much kind of clouded my judgment when it came to Sly Pro. And I feel like he's a cool guy, and years later, you know, all things aside, he's a pretty cool dude, I would say. So that's a C tier. That's a heartfelt C tier placement right there. Sir Lord Pie. I've rarely interacted with this guy, but generally it's just kind of a C tier interaction. Alphonsbo. Okay, Alphonsbo is one of my way better friends. Honestly, I'd throw him up in S tier. Alphonsbo is a hyper homie in the sense of, like, he is, like, honestly the wildest, funnest guy I've ever talked to, honestly. He's just so wild and so crazy. He's kind of like, he just like, does anything. It's crazy, you know? He just does stuff. People laugh. He's one of the funniest people I've ever talked to. Very wild guy, very cool to talk to, but he's also, it's good to have a serious talk with him. He's one of the funniest people I know, but when you need to get serious, he can get serious, which I appreciate very heavily. Respect to him. Definitely one of the brothers. Beaten. Okay, so Beaten, I haven't had the best interactions with. I'm going to throw him in D tier because, like, he is a very condescending person. I don't know if you've ever, like, talked with Beaten before, but he'll always be just very condescending. He'll have this aura of, like, I'm above you, and I think that I'm above you, and here is why I'm above you. And, like, every time I talk with him, it's like, he's super verbose, and he acts like there's a stick up his ass, and, like, I don't know. It's like, you know, grow up, man. It's the internet, you know? Nobody's above anybody out here. You know, you can bait people and be ironic and say, oh, I'm above you, like, to get people to get angry, but generally, like, it's just the internet, and it's, like, it's not that deep, and every time I've interacted with him, it's been neutral, but, like, the fact that he acts like that and he gives off that aura, it's, like, that's a D tier for me. He almost made it into C. He was almost there. Almost. All right, Fulhinho, definitely an F tier. I've never had a pleasant interaction with this person in my life. He's a very toxic dude, very unreasonable person. And when I mean toxic, I mean like psycho level toxic. This guy, okay, I don't mean genuine, like literal psycho. I'm using it as an exaggeration. Okay, relax. I mean like psycho level toxic. He's just like so unreasonably toxic all the fucking time. And I don't like him because he brings zLubra down as a person. Like, I remember, like, Fulhinho and zLubra would play teams together, and Fulhinho and zLubra would, like, be really toxic together in tandem. And then when you would talk to zLubra behind the scenes, zLubra seems like nothing like that. So it seems like Fulhinho just drags him down. So, like, I just don't really like this guy. Joanny. All right, so Joanny's kind of, chill placement, I'd say. I haven't had much interaction with this guy, but the interaction I have had has been pretty neutral. Actually, well, it's been above positive rather than like C tier. So I used to be kind of a dick to this guy a little bit because I used to think that he cheated, and I was kind of an asshole in our DMs a lot. And he's pretty neutral about it, and he didn't really enable me and argue with me as far as I can remember. So I can definitely put him in B tier for that. He's kind of he's a slight spot above C tier, I'd say. You know, definitely no negative interactions with him. Honestly, I can't say that it's been negative and positive. All right, Polar. A lot of people like to shit talk this guy, but for a very young kid, I'd say he's pretty damn cool. You know, b-hopping on ults aside and things like that, and all the shady stuff that rich homies get into, I will say that he's pretty cool for his age. I'm not going to say he's the most mature person in the world, but a lot of people like to exaggerate and say he's annoying because he has a higher pitched voice. You know, he's like, I guess the cliche kid, like, oh, I play Fortnite or whatever. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to like say that he's a kid other than saying like, oh, I play Fortnite. Okay, so real quick, let me just get some of these out of the way because some of these are like duplicates of each other. So like, let me like zoom out real quick and like throw some of these onto the tier list. Okay, so Francis is a duplicate. Doc M is a duplicate. I think Rumble Crumble is a duplicate. YQT 1001 is a duplicate. I think Juror is also a duplicate. Yeah, Juror is a duplicate. Okay, sorry. I just needed to get those out of the way. Here, we're going to make a custom tier just for them. Add a row below. Clones. And we're going to color it white. Clones. Here we go, clones. Here we go. You are in clones tier. I just needed to get that out of the way real quick before we got back into the tier list. Oh, I forgot to full screen this entire fucking time. All right, Aver. A lot of people like to say Aver's weird and stuff like that, but I think he's a really, really cool dude. He's not afraid to be himself, and every time I've talked with him, it's been a pretty damn good conversation. Very honest dude, very straightforward, not afraid to, you know, be who he is on the internet, no matter what people say about him, and he's very cool and level-headed in the face of people being toxic towards him, and that is something I respect and appreciate because it is very hard to not lose your cool when people are trying to piss you off and go out of their way. And I have a lot in common with this guy, and we've talked a lot in DMs, and, you know, pretty good guy. All right, so C. Lonson. Don't have much interaction with this person, but from what I've seen, I think C. Lonson is the same as ADCD. I could be wrong, but based on the interactions that I've had with this person, I would say it's a solid C tier. I don't know past that, though. I think ADCD has had, like, multiple aliases. I think Music is Life is also him. But I'm just going to tier him based on how I've interacted with the username. We'll just put it at that. All right, Ezakil or Zenshi. Zenshi is actually pretty cool to chat with. Pretty reasonable guy. I'd put him in B tier. Always an enjoyable chat to have. Always a casual chat, you know? Like, you just see him in Discords and chatting in general, and I'll always just, like, you know, pop in. And, like, whenever he's chatting with people, he seems to be a pretty cool dude to hang around. So, you know, that earns a B tier. All right, so guy from Pakistan. I'm pretty sure this is W Panda, and based on this guy, I'd say it's a D tier. I don't really like how he acts on the internet. Like, that's pretty much what D, E, and F mean, but generally it's been, like, positive, but it's been kind of more negative than positive in the sense of, like, this guy seems to be very, like, toxic, and he wants you to get mad and stuff like that, and he had that persona a little bit, but I guess I'll just bump him up to C tier. I can't really be too harsh on that front, but he did have that kind of attitude where, like, he wanted you to get mad, he wanted you to rage and stuff like that, and I don't really like that kind of behavior, but generally, like, I'm not going to get too upset at this guy for that. All right, I got PvP in my name. Another C tier, pretty average guy. I've seen him around, talked with him. I'm pretty sure I've been toxic to this guy multiple times, and he's been pretty neutral about it, so, you know, I can appreciate that. Lady Doc. All right, so Lady Doc is actually pretty cool, pretty chill, laid-back guy. I've talked with him. Okay, so I'm going to tier Lady Doc on who it was and who it is now. So Lady Doc is Dr. Key, which is one of the oldest Blitz players. He was one of the chillest people in the entire community until he left at around like 2015, and he gave his account away to like 2 or 3 people, I believe, and the one that I talked to a couple of weeks ago in a voice call was very chill, very laid back, and it kind of just seemed like he wanted to play the game. So that merits a B tier since like they're 2 separate people on the same name, so I'm just going to like tier them as such. All right, Panaminowl. They've been in my comment section a good bit. Pretty cool person to interact with. I don't know much about them, so I'm just gonna like rate them happy, neutral, C tier. No negative, no positive, or no negative, little positive, but you know, pretty much just a C tier. Tild. All right, so Tild has done some very shady things in the past. I'm not going to get into it, obviously. This video is not to public shame people for very serious things, but generally, oh my god, I need to sneeze. I'm just going to talk through the sneeze. I don't give a fuck, dude. But Tild has done some very shady things in the past, and I'm just going to call them shady things for anyone that has done anything a little bit too serious outside of the realm of Minecraft, and that's what it means, pretty much. But generally, I used to talk with this guy for a bit. He claims it was a month. I don't know how long I talked to him, but I used to get in calls with him like every day for multiple hours for who knows how long. I don't really care, but I used to call with him and Sean, and we would like play teams and swap off teammates with each other. We were really good friends, and then we kind of like stopped talking for a while. Or I think I stopped talking with him because of like the shady stuff that he did that I am being very, very shady about myself. But, you know, I'm not going to clarify it, obviously. But, Tild, I'd say, is, I'd say E tier, honestly. I think that he's just misguided, like, when it comes to the internet, because, like, it's very weird. He'll be very chill and very, very toxic one moment, and then the next he'll just be very chill with you, and it's, like, very hard to get this guy, and mixed in with the stuff he does, I fundamentally, like, disagree with his behavior and things like that. But generally, you know, he was very, very chill when I did talk with him in voice chat. And I think that he can be a chill person, but he's just got some, you know, some stuff to sort out. You know, it's not even that big of a deal. Definitely not the level of Stardark, though, but definitely an E tier moment. Actually, well, I wouldn't even say E tier. I'm going to throw him up in D tier. I'm not going to be too harsh on him, actually. I feel like I was being a little harsh with E tier. Forearm is just, like, the only dude in E tier. Because, like, E tier is kind of an awkward placement. Like, where do I put this guy, you know? 1E8. All right, so 1E8, I believe, is... okay, so I don't know this person very well. I think it's 4_E. I don't know. Is 4_E on this? Okay, so they're different people. Okay, so let me... That's a C tier. Okay, 1E8 is a C tier. It's just been a neutral interaction with this guy pretty much all around. Acruz. Okay, so a lot of people like to say Acruz is an asshole. I used to think Acruz was a douchebag, but honestly, he's grown to be... one of my more common people that I talk to, and he's a pretty good friend. Honestly, he's a homie. He'll, like, you know, go out of your way to do things for you. But I do disagree with his behavior on the internet before very recent. He would do some shady things with his friends, and generally he was very back and forth with people. He used to lie about a lot of things, and you couldn't really trust him too much. But he says he's done with that, and, you know, this time around I trust him. This is the last straw, though, with this guy. You know, if he's still kind of lying about stuff and shit, but that's it. But, you know, generally he's pretty enjoyable to talk to, so I'm going to throw him up in B tier. He does not hit A tier, though. That is for the exclusive, the top of the tierist, you know. All right, so honestly, well, fuck it. Acruz is A tier. Fuck it. A controversial opinion. Acruz is A tier. Controversial. Somebody that I want to move in A tier, actually, is Nube. He is one of the cooler people that I've talked to in this community, and I feel like I was underrating him a little bit. Same with Shiban, actually. I kind of want to throw him up in A tier. Or, well, maybe not. Maybe I should keep it. Okay, A tier should probably be, like, exclusive for some people. Maybe I should put Mizuo in B tier or A tier. Should I keep him in A tier or not? I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'll just keep it as it is, I guess. Every placement is permanent, I guess. I'll just swap people around, like, maybe in a 2.0. But, Artemi, don't have really much interaction with this person. It's been pretty neutral. I mean, like, I've talked with them a bit here and there. It doesn't really matter that much. Chris Frag, all right, same with Artemi, just pretty neutral stuff. Desk Slam, all right. I used to think Desk Slam was kind of an asshole, but it turns out he's pretty much just a clown that just wants to be on the internet and just make people laugh, and he just has fun, you know, whatever. He's just kind of like that one... He's quite literally a guy in a clown suit, but not in a bad way. Just a very funny guy, lighthearted, stuff like that. Every time I see him in chat, he's just being, like, retarded, just going out of his way to act retarded, just lighthearted. Doesn't take the internet very seriously and not in a bad way, and that's good, you know. Let's see. King Rico. Okay, so King Rico comes off as a very unhinged individual. He just rages very hard, very, very toxic guy. We all know King Rico. There's his behavior, I fundamentally disagree with it. Not gonna lie, I do disagree with how he acts. Most of the time I'm in calls with him, though, he does seem like a chill guy to be around outside of, like, his very blatant anger issues. But he does seem to be a decent guy. all of the mega walls, like shady shit aside, like that community, I'm gonna ignore that because this is my experience with the person. And I've never heard anything of what he's done, but most mega walls people end up getting into shady shit is what I mean. I'm gonna put him in D tier, honestly, because he does seem pretty chill in calls, but I just don't really agree with how he behaves, like in general. Mason. Okay, so this is HPC Mason. For anybody that was wondering, this is not Mason Storm. Just for it to be clear, I think Mason Storm is somewhere on this tier. Oh, MQSE. Yeah, he was on this tier list. Okay, MQSE is Mason Storm, by the way. So this guy, MQSE, is Mason Storm. This is the HPC Mason, so his IGN is literally just Mason. This guy's actually really cool to talk with, very reasonable person, very enjoyable. I had a very fun time making the Blitz document with him. He's very professional, very respectful of what people think and what they say. Very open to all ideas and things when it comes to Blitz, and I'm assuming he's the same in life. Very casual dude, and, you know, stuff like that, you know. Just generally, I don't know, that's about it. Just kind of got a little awkward there with the kind of fall off of the talking. Mound Bear. Okay, so Mound Bear is a C tier. Don't really have much interaction with that guy. Rog Miner. Okay, so Rog Miner is a C tier. I kind of disagree with kind of the stuff he does online. Same with anyone in D tier or E tier, F tier, like I've said a lot so far. But generally, he does seem like a fun guy to be around, and it does seem like he's more so fun to be around than more people in D tier or E or F. But I do disagree with this. Actually, I'll throw him in D because, like, that kind of seems to be the trend going in D because, like, I disagree with the stuff that he does and how he acts sometimes, but he does seem to be pretty chill. And my interactions with him have been pretty chill, but I just don't think it merits C tier. All right, Vaxby. Okay, so I've kept this opinion under wraps on him, honestly, for a while, but I don't know. Like, whenever this guy gets in a call, he's just very strange to me. He lies about a lot. I'm not going to get into the stuff that he lies about, but he lies about some pretty major shit. He claims to be, like, people that he's not. I guess I will get into it a little bit. He claims to be, like, people that he's not because it's not too serious, but it's, like, weird. He claims to be this really old Blitz player named Plante, and he's just not that person because I've talked to Plante before, and I've seen Plante in real life, and they just are not the same person, and he just keeps claiming to be the same guy, and it's, like, he's just very shady and weird. But generally, like, he's fun to talk with, so I'll just, like, throw him up in C tier. Like, nothing against him, but I just don't like... Actually, I'll throw him down to D. Like, he's cool to talk with, but I don't agree with what he does and how he acts. So, like, you know, generally, you know, it's just pretty much average D tier placement. Wapam, all right. So, me and Wapam have had our issues in the past. I used to really dislike this guy, but generally, I'd say it rounds out at about a C tier for him. He's just a dude, and I kind of blew it up out of the water. Like, I used to, like, hate him because, like, oh, you hack, and he would deny it and stuff like that. Just the average bullshit from me. Just the bad behavior from me. But, generally, C-tier placement from him. Pretty average interactions. Big Papa. All right, so Big Papa is definitely one of my homies. He goes up in B tier with Nube. Not going to lie. He is very, very cool, I'd say. Very, very cool guy to talk with and interact with. Same with Nube. Because they're like peas in a pod, him and Nube. You know, they're inseparable. They're the dynamic duo, if you will, and interacting with them was always very fun. Driest. All right, Driest is an easy A tier. This guy is one of the funnest people. He is not only hilarious in voice chat. Okay, fun fact, I used to fucking loathe Driest with all of my soul. I used to hate this guy a lot. Me and him used to really dislike each other, and then boom, the first time we got in a voice call, we hit it off. We enjoyed talking to each other so much. And he taught me something, you know, never judge a book by its cover, never judge too fast. He was like pretty much the epitome of that with me because a lot of these people, yeah, I judged them too fast and I found out they were like good people later on, but me and Dries took it to like a whole other level, you know, we really didn't like each other. Same with Sly Pro, it's like pretty much equal there. They taught me to like, you know, not judge too fast on a person, but yeah, he's very, very fun to chat with. I'll just jump in Fading Echoes chat and like troll with him on them a lot. All right, so iRise. iRise is a happy neutral C tier. Seems to be a pretty cool guy, but I don't have much interaction with him, so I can't really say. Sophie. Sophie seems to be pretty nice. I'll throw her up in B tier because I've seen her be pretty damn helpful when it comes to stuff like I've seen her help people with achievements, and she seems to be really laid back and chill with anybody, and she seems to handle the whole like, oh, you're a girl on the internet, let me go out of my way to harass you now, like type stuff, and I can respect somebody that can do that kind of stuff. All right, X_X. This guy has always been pretty chill over the years. I'm not going to lie. My experiences with him have been always, like, pretty overly positive. He's very cool to just sit in lobbies with and chat with. I've never really talked with him in voice chat, but he's always been a cool guy to text with in a lobby, you know? All right, Luna Lovegood. She, amongst amongst Jedi is one of the people that I've chatted with the most. I'm going to throw her up in A tier because her and Jedi, so out of everybody that started knowing me from my channel when I was an up-and-coming Blitz player, when I was climbing the leaderboard, becoming a lot more popular in the community, when I hit first, and then when my channel like blew up in like mid-2019, a lot of people would DM me trying to befriend me and stuff like that and talk with me and, you know, get to know me. Out of all those people, her and Jedi were easily the #1 people that I texted the most, and I always appreciate a conversation with her when it happens because she's very chill. Very, 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 very chill. Scholar. All right, so Scholar was kind of a homie. He was definitely a home slice. Very, very cool guy to talk to. He was the same as Diversity PvP in the sense of, like, he was one of the best pot players there was, and he was a very humble guy. Very cool to talk to, and I can appreciate both sides of that. Very cool. Real quick, I wanted to move Big Papa and Nube up to A tier because I feel like I'm underrating them a good bit because I talked with them every day for multiple hours, and it was always a blast. And I feel like putting them in B tier is just not the same. Like, they're not on the same level as people in B tier, so I am sorry to the two. I am sorry to Nube and Big Papa. I am sorry, guys, okay? I know I kept you hanging this whole time. Like, are you really going to put me in B tier? But I put you in A. Fucking relax, all right? All right, so what a scrub. Overall, pretty average interaction with this person. I barely interacted with them outside of, like, oh, you hack, blah, blah, blah. Ashley Rick Cringe. Okay, so I know who this is now. I did a little bit of research after the original, like, player tier list 1.0 and 2.0, and I know who this is, and I can say without a doubt, very neutral interactions. Bean Slosh. Okay, so if this is who I think it is, let me check and see if this is who I think it is real quick. We're going to just type in Bean Slosh here, and we're going to hit enter. Okay, so it is who I think it is. Okay. Okay. It is exactly who I think it is. Yeah, this guy is one of, like, the coolest people I've met in my life. He is such a homie. I met him through Dosa, and he is just one of the coolest people that I've met in my life. By the way, okay, real fun fact about this guy I thought that was really cool I would like to share real quick. He has met Ronald Weasley's actor in real life multiple times. They're like homies, and it's really cool. It's just so dope. Sentient. Okay, so Sentient and Dark Angels are the same person, but the person that was on Sentient, I believe, like the alt that Dark Angels played on or whatever, was like, they were pretty chill and neutral, I'd say. I think they were different people. I'm just gonna, like, go ahead and assume they were different. But yeah, anyway, Chug's very, very cool guy to talk to. I would definitely love to talk to that guy again. I really miss this guy, man. I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I miss this guy, genuinely. Like, I would like to talk to him again. He's very cool. For a British person, anyway, you know, for a British person. Vinny Shipman, by the way, I have no idea who this is. I'm just gonna, like, place them real quick because I have no fucking clue who it is. Same with Fedora Child. Who the fuck is this? Who is this? Hang on, let me like name MC Fedora Child real quick because I just have no fucking clue who that is, honestly. Fedora Child. Yeah, I have no clue who this is. Just absolutely no idea. I like my daddy. Pretty neutral interaction. All right, so sorry, I'm just like placing people behind to see like if there's anybody that I can put in like neutral. Toxpot. I think I know who this is, but I'm not gonna like claim too heavily because like I don't know. Toxpot's pretty neutral. But anyway, I'm just seeing like anybody neutral that I can place. Huxley's pretty neutral. Jasper's pretty damn neutral. I'm just trying to like do speed runs here so the video's not too long. Antisocial Club, pretty neutral. DAE, I have no fucking clue who this is at all. NH, no clue. Never interacted with this dude. EXD, no clue. I'm trying to like go through and like Street Tape, no clue. Let's see. Fuck. I'm just trying to like go through and see if there's anybody I don't really recognize in here. Real quick, let's just get these out of the way. I think we've pretty much got everybody that I don't really recognize because, like, everybody else. Candymonium, I don't know who that is. Do not know you. I'm sorry, my friend. All right, Dope Name. Let's get back to the actual placements. All right, Dope Name, he's actually pretty cool to talk with. Kind of a homie type guy. Like, he just seems like the kind of guy that'd be there for you if you needed anything. If you needed a hit from his weed, he would let you take a hit from his weed, you know? You know what I mean? He's a gangster. No, I'm kidding. Very cool guy, though. He used to really, really dislike me, but he's kind of the water under the bridge type of person, and I can respect that kind of maturity out of a guy. And out of a man. I mean, not a guy, just a man, a true man. This is a true man of society, all right? So Dope Name is a real man. He's a real homie. All right, I'm going to beat my chest twice to Dope Name. Can you hear? Wait, hang on. I'm going to hit my chest real hard. All right, ready? Ready? Boom. You hear that? I hit my chest twice, and I did a peace symbol. That's how it works. But yeah, B tier homie, definitely. All right, so Impulsic. Honestly, I never really liked how this guy acted on the internet. Like, I never liked his approach to the online world. But he was kind of, like, chill, like, okay to interact with. But, you know, like a lot of these people on D tier, they're cool to interact with, but I don't like how they behave most of the time. He just kind of has this whole, like, irony thing, like, haha, the internet is ironic, nothing is serious. And the fact that he cheated for an entire tournament and pissed, like, several hundred people off and actively tried to in the first Blitz tournament, I just really don't like that kind of fucking behavior. It's really, really bullshit and boring. Jakenma. Okay, so Jakenma's a C tier. I had my problems with this guy in the past, but my last interaction with him, my very last one, was pretty damn chill. I actually got in calls with him a couple times, and he just kind of just seems like a kid that likes to piss people off, and I cannot hold it against him when it comes to that shit, because, like, you know, are you going to blame him? He's just a fucking kid, you know? That doesn't really matter. Gyraby. All right, so Gyraby is a pretty cool gal to hang around, I'm not going to lie. She's very quiet, very, I guess, shy, or I guess very timid person, so she doesn't really talk that much in voice calls with a lot of people, but she's just very vibing, you know. Talking to her is an absolute vibe. Like, if you ever want to talk to a person and it feels like you're high and very mellow, talk to Gyraby. She's definitely the female of that kind of, like, area of things, and the male would definitely be like, who in B tier is the male of that? Definitely Naz, yeah, Naz is the male of that. Gyraby is the female of that. So, like, if you ever want to, like, feel like you're high and you're talking to a person, talk to Naz or Gyraby. Ironically enough, they're actually good friends, so there you go. I guess, you know, great minds think alike. I'm done for. So out of all of the kids that I've ever known on the internet, I'm done for is definitely one of the coolest. I think that he is definitely a very, very cool guy. I've talked with him a good bit in calls and in text, and he just seems like a generally cool dude to be around. Very, very mature for his age. You know, he is not even really childish at all. I had one little childish run-in with him where he hacked on me on a fucking alt account, and he, like, actively tried to piss me off, and I was like, okay, man, I know that's fucking you, but he apologized afterwards. So, you know, honestly, that level of maturity you don't see from kids on the internet, so I heavily respect that shit. BakerPot, all right, so BakerPot is actually a pretty cool dude. I'm going to throw him up in B tier. One of my cooler friends easily because, I don't know, I met him through Speely and Sean, and he used to really dislike me, but we ended up talking, and the last time I ever talked to him at all was when we were playing Smash Ultimate together, and the fact that, he plays, like, games outside of Minecraft with people is something that I actually like, because not a lot of people will do that most of the time. I don't know. It's like, I've seen some weird people over the years that can only play Minecraft with people, and they, like, can't go to any other game. And if they do, like, they don't really know what to talk about anymore. So, like, he's not one of those people, and that's something that I like. Ha. All right. Ha is pretty casual. I've heard that he does some pretty shady stuff on the internet, and I've seen him do some things like that. So, because of that, I'm going to put him in C tier, but overall, he's actually a really cool dude, very funny to be around, but, you know, I can't be biased, and I can't just, like, go out of my way and put someone, like, higher up on this tier list. Actually, well, I did that with Polar, and he is pretty fun to talk to, so I'm going to put Ha in B tier, but he does do shady stuff, all right? I do not agree with the stuff that he does, all right, but he is very, very fun to talk to, and I was about to say, like, people haven't really beaten that rule, but there are a ton of people in B tier and A tier who have done some shady things, and I put them there anyway, so, you know, whatever. All right, so Plane, let's see. Honestly, I'm going to put Plane in D tier because he kind of goes out of his way to piss people off a lot, and he used to be a very, very, very toxic and insufferable individual, but in voice calls, he seems to be very, very reasonable and cool, but I do not like how he acts a lot of the time. It seems like he exists most of the time to just make people upset and angry, and I think he even said that to me in a voice call. I don't really agree with that kind of behavior, so, like, I'm definitely going to put him in D tier. And I haven't really talked with him that much, so, you know, there's not much to really go on there. He could still be kind of an asshole in voice chat. I have no idea. Tushar. So Tushar was definitely one of the cooler people that I talked to. I'm going to throw him up in B tier. Definitely one of the cooler people I talked to. I don't know if he's the same as Music is Life. A lot of these people, like, share accounts and shit, but, very cool guy to talk to. That's pretty much about it. Very surface level B tier placement. Antisocial. All right, so Antisocial is pretty damn mellow guy to interact with. Pretty chill. it's kind of like with Gyrobe and with Nazir. Like, if you want to feel, like, mellow when you're talking to a person, same with Deathcrit, too, you talk to Antisocial. He's a very cool guy. Sean vouches for him, and since I, trust Sean so much as a person, and I care a lot about Sean, he's like a little bro to me. I will definitely put Antisocial B tier, and I will trust his judgment. Blue Plays. So Blue Plays seems to be pretty C tier, seems to be a pretty laid-back guy. Every time I see him in chat, he just seems to be kind of enjoyable to interact with, very like-minded, open-minded, and neutral. Actually, I'm going to throw him up in B tier, actually. I kind of like how this guy acts. I like it. I see him in chat, and I'm like, yo, it's Blue Plays. Don't agree with the fact that he cheats and denies it, though, but other than that, I'm not really tiering people based on that shit, like, obviously. Rubbin. All right, so Rubbin, I actually think is a really cool dude. Again, don't really like that he, like, cheats and denies it, obviously. Like, I'm not going to enjoy that, obviously, because I've always hated that kind of shit. But he's a very, very cool guy. I really, really like him. He's pretty vibing on the internet. If you, again, it's kind of one of those mellow placements. Like, if you want to feel like you're high when you're talking to somebody, talk to Rubbin. He's a very vibing dude. Very humble, too. Not very, egomaniacal over Blitz. I've always noticed that about him. Silence. Okay, so Silence is a pretty, like, happy neutral placement with him because I don't know much about him, but my interactions with him have been pretty damn neutral over the years. I've heard, word of mouth, though, that he's pretty cool, but I don't want to place too heavily on word of mouth. This is my tier list, so, and that's just how I see things. Eeriness. All right, Eeriness is an absolute home slice. He is going up in S tier. Eeriness is one of the coolest people that I've ever met. I've been talking to him for a couple of years now, and I used to really dislike him because he, like, hacked or what. I thought he hacked, and I thought he denied it or whatever, but I was wrong about that, and I was really immature about that, But Eeriness is a very, very cool guy. If I ever want to get into a voice chat with somebody, he's definitely one of my top picks to when it comes to, like, playing games outside of Minecraft. Like, if I want to play a game outside of Minecraft and talk with people in voice chat, Eeriness is definitely one of the best people to get into a call with for me. Very cool guy. Easy, so easy to have a conversation with. It's shocking how easy it is to have a conversation with this fucking guy. And I really miss talking to him, man. Like, I haven't talked to him in a long time. Damn. Sucks. Makes me frown. Makes me sad. Duck, duck, sad. Duck, duck, frown. Duck, duck, unhappy. K_21. Very neutral. Just super neutral interactions. Just going to speedrun this Zicken. Very neutral interactions here. K Lamon, I think is a pretty cool guy. I've gotten in voice chat with him. He's a very funny guy. He actually inspired one of my usernames, Moose Cat. Very funny guy, and one of my best plays in Blitz ever on my channel is actually him and his perspective, and I asked him for the clip. He's very reasonable about it. Very cool guy. Very, very dope guy. All right, Night Nurse. Night Nurse is a pretty C-tier placement for me. Just neutral interactions from pretty much the point where I met him and the point where I know him now. Big Boy Mandem. This guy is kind of a D-tier placement for me. He kind of seems like one of those people that exists to piss people off. He came to Blitz about 6 or so months ago, and when he was playing very actively, he was kind of a douchebag, like a pretty massive douchebag, and he was very, very douchey to people, and I don't like people that just barge into a community and try to tear it down in any way they can. Same with Flowex. They were like peas in a pod. Very just all-around negative reactions from these people. They seem to like not take the internet very seriously, and they just kind of want to piss people off. Same with Plane. So they all kind of get this little trio placement together. Same with Impulsic, actually. Pencil. Pencil seems like a pretty laid-back guy. He seems to be a pretty damn good staff member, and considering he's a damn good staff member, I'm going to put him in B tier for that because, honestly, I like people that go out of their way to help others, and I like that he does that kind of stuff. He sacrifices his time to give people content, and I've always appreciated that because I've always aspired to be that myself, to sacrifice my own time to give people all kinds of content and things they can appreciate. So generally, I like this guy. He's pretty cool. Honestly, with that being said, I am going to put Breeman in B tier now because I think that the fact that he wants to do things and make content for people, because he actually owns a TikTok and he's a creator. I appreciate creators. I like their attitude towards life. So whether or not he's ironically nice to me and tries to annoy me, I will put him in B tier because of that. I hope he's still watching. Breeman, if you're still watching, man, I got you. I put you in B tier, all right? All right, C4PS. Pretty neutral interactions. He's a very helpful guy. He actually owns a Discord for AP hunting, and I'm not going to put him in C tier, but I respect that he likes to help the AP hunting community because that community is a bunch of ungrateful fucks, man. They are very toxic people. Not the funnest people to be around, but generally, very, very cool guy to interact with and talk to. He's very helpful. He's offered to help me with AP several times. Whenever I'm AP hunting, he's definitely my #1 guy that I want to interact with in the community, other than like maybe I'm Wolf85. But yeah, he's a very cool guy. All right, so 3D model, pretty cool guy actually. I put him in B tier because he's definitely one of like my more casual friends over the years. Like whenever I interact with him, it's like I rarely interact with him, but when I do, it just seems like we've been friends forever. You know, he just seems like that kind of guy, and I like that. So that's definitely quick B tier placement there. Brother's Trouble. All right, so I don't like Brother's Trouble too much because of his behavior on the internet. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt though and say that he is pretty chill. He re-uploads content from lost content from YouTubers. Like he'll re-upload Majestic Walrus's videos, MC Alex's videos, Gamebusters videos. I like that about him. I like that he's you know, scavenging content to like provide for people that might want to see that stuff, and he's a content creator. I can respect that stuff about him, but over the years, my interactions with him have been overall negative, and he just doesn't really seem like a person I would want to interact with too much, and I'll just really keep it at that because it's really not even that deep. It's pretty much the most happy neutral D tier placement I've done so far, actually. Zukio or Gorzy. So Gorzy's actually really cool for his age. A lot of people like to say, oh, you cheat, oh, blah, blah, you get on accounts and cheat for KD. But, you know, that aside, he's very cool for his age. I think he's younger. I don't know. I think he's like 15 or something like that. Anyway, anybody that's under the age of 18 or 17 that like acts pretty chill and mature on the internet, I can definitely respect. Very cool guy to talk with and interact with generally. KXMA, all right, so... Okay, so I did it. Wait a second. Wait. So KXMA was... Wait a second. Why is he on this tier list twice? Where did I put Kumite? Fuck. I could have sworn I put Kumite on B tier, right? Okay, there he is. He's on B tier. I'm going to throw him up where he is. Okay, they're the same fucking guy. Jesus. Why are there two people on this tier list? Actually, wait. Clone. We're putting Kumite down to clone. I'm sorry, man. You have to go down to clone. This tier list needs to be as accurate as humanly possible. You are a clone. I'm sorry. Darth_Luke. Okay, so Darth_Luke just kind of seems like a happy kid on the internet. He doesn't really give a shit. I don't know. He just seems like a very carefree guy. I like that. So C tier placement. Pongo Saints. Pongo is actually really cool to talk to. Definitely one of the more mature people in the community, and I can respect that. Very cool guy to hang around. I used to be kind of addicted to this guy very recently, actually, and he would always approach it in like a super mature and reasonable way, and I respect the fuck out of that, honestly. I really like that. 24118. All right, so 24118 is kind of just a guy that I'll interact with here and there, and he seems to be a pretty reasonable, opinionated guy. He isn't afraid of throwing his opinions out on the forums, and, you know, we can all respect that kind of guy, you know, and he's never too toxic about it, so it's always good. Unduckable. All right, so Unduckable is another person that is vouched for by Sean Lowell, but I haven't really interacted with him too much. I've been in calls with him, and he seems to be a pretty cool guy. Same with Antisocial. You know, Sean vouches for them, and I know Sean very, very well. Antisocial and Unduckable are, and I've been in calls with them. Don't worry, I'm not basing this just on Sean's opinion. I have been in calls with these people, and they are very cool, so trust me on that one. This tier list is coming to an end, a very, very swift, close end. By the way, I'm going to put some people in Can't Say real quick that I didn't before. Vortex, I didn't really know this person. I never interacted with them. I just heard word of mouth, and I can't really base somebody off of that. I have no clue who the fuck... Oh, Mickett. Okay, Pickett and Mickett. Okay, I know who Mickett is. Never mind. Proline, never really interacted with this person at all. Can't really say. Let's see. I'm trying to, like, get some people out of the way real quick. We're doing, like, a little speed run round here that I should have done a little earlier. I should have finished at least. Schloomp, Seal, Sprout, I'm assuming that is. Leonard, Jasper, Laura Frida. Okay, I literally don't know Laura Frida. Actually, well... I do know Laura Frida. We're going to place Laura Frida back down where she belongs. Doc M, don't really know. Can't really say. I guess, actually, wait. Hang on. I'll leave that one. Rumble Crumble, can't really say, but I guess I'll just leave that. I don't know. I mean, like, generally, I guess I'll just, like, leave them for a certain placement. I'll wait. Zyre Master. Okay, so this guy is a very chill and vibing kid on the internet. He just plays Donkey Tamer. He vibes. I like that. C tier. Awasi, C tier. You know, neutral interactions mostly. Marcelol XD. So I like this guy. I like talking to him generally. I don't think he likes me very much, but other than that, you know, I do enjoy him. He's one of my older friends back when I owned Proximity, and I do like that he I do like his attitude on the internet. You know, his face reveal photo was cringe. In the Fading Echoes face reveal photo, his was cringe. I will not lie, but I do like how, you know, I do like talking to him on the internet. Mickett. All right, so this guy was a very, very positive dude. Very, very cool to interact with. Definite B tier because he was just such a force of positivity, but like not on the same tier as Global Clutch, right? So like Global Clutch, I had like voice chat and in-game chat and like years worth of evidence to like put him in S tier, but like Mickett, it's like a lesser version of Global Clutch. So definitely B tier for him though. Very, very enjoyable guy. Pickett. Okay, so Pickett's one of my casual friends where like I used to talk to him a lot, and I don't really talk to him much now. But every time I see him in a call, it's like like oh yeah, we're friends from here and now, and like we're pretty casual friends now. I would say so. Definite B tier. Oh, and he likes to create maps for people, do things for people. So I appreciate that about him. Obviously, if you're a content creator and you give things, it's always good. Tynan. All right, so this one's a doozy. Tynan and I have been at odds with each other. We are like the polar opposites of one another, it seems, when it comes to the Fading Echoes Discord chat. Every single time I talk to this guy, he is at odds with me in some fucking way, and I really don't like how he behaves on the internet. Like, he says he's a very, like, insecure person and things like that, but then he'll talk so much shit. And it's really crazy how somebody that talks so much shit is so, like, insecure. And it seems like he has, like, he's very just aggro on people, and he's very aggressive, and he, like, likes to shit on people a lot. He makes fun of, like, how people look without actually revealing his own face, and I have a lot of problems with this guy, but I do have a lot in common with him, and we were actually pretty decent friends, and he likes to pitch in when it comes to the update. I can respect that, so I will give him a D tier. Actually, I don't know. E tier. Like, I'll give him Forearm, because Forearm and him are, like, the same, one and the same. Honestly, should E tier even fucking exist at this point? I've put, like, nobody in E tier, honestly. Should I move some people down to E tier? Like, are there some people here that, like, I don't really enjoy that should be genuinely in E tier? Like, I don't understand. Maybe, like, Beaten E tier? Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. Should E tier even exist? Should I abolish E tier? Okay, I'm putting Tynan in E tier. Anyway, moving on. Or actually, I'm going to move some people from D tier to E tier real quick, because I think that I have not put enough people in E tier. And I feel like my opinions of people, some of people in D are not the severity of people that I think of in like E, like all these people. So Tynan honestly is a D, I'd say. He's a D tier, but like I said, so I think Forearm should go to D. Okay, I don't know. Should I just abolish, like, E tier entirely? Just completely annihilate it from the face of the planet? I don't know. Maybe E tier. Okay, so E tier is Forearm, Tynan, Beaten. Yeah, Beaten definitely E tier. I really don't like how condescending he is all the time. Impulsic definitely E tier. I don't like his behavior on the internet. VaxP can be D tier. Rogminer D tier. King Riku D tier. D2, D2, D tier. X has coex, honestly E tier. I don't no. Don't like that person very much. Brother Strubble, Flowex, so. Actually, X Hasco I'll leave on D tier. I respect that he's willing to be admin and do some work for the server, but generally don't like how he behaves most of the time. Okay, I just wanted to add some more people on E tier because I feel like E tier is not filled up enough. I feel like 2 people on E tier after all this time is like a little too ridiculous because like some people on D tier I feel like I was like being really hard on and stuff like that. Okay, 4_E Damien. Oh shit. Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay. 4_E is pretty cool for a kid though. He's the same as like I'm done for. Very chill for a kid. Very fun to talk to, but not as fun as I'm done for. He cannot reach the I'm done for levels of fun to talk to, but he is definitely polar tier where like he's a pretty cool kid to talk to. Angry Bird Star, definitely one of the cooler people I've interacted with in the community, and he seems to be a very laid-back guy, so I'm going to throw him up in B tier. We got some more B tiers going on towards the end here. Cat playing tennis, going to put them in C tier because I barely know who this person is. I've interacted with them a few times, been pretty neutral. Curtis, been pretty neutral, I'd say. Diamond Pro 200, I actually really like talking to this guy. If this is the guy that I think he is, I really do enjoy talking to him. I've played Brawlhalla with this guy, and I like that he does YouTube because, I appreciate content creators of all sorts. Obviously, it's very personal thing for me, appreciating a content creator. Embry, same with Gyrobeam. She is very fun to be around, very cool to talk to. She was a friend of mine a couple of like months ago, like I'd say like 7 or 8 months ago. I was getting calls with her and Gyrobe and Nazir and like Nube, Big Papa a lot, and very, very fun people to hang around. Golem Sweat. Okay, so Golem Sweat used to be a very obnoxious fanboy to me, and he would like go out of his way to target me and Julian and like other people, like other YouTubers while we were streaming. But generally, I think his heart is in the right place. I think he just gets a little excited. You know, he's just a kid. Like I'm pretty sure he's no older than like. I'm pretty sure he's like no older than 17. There's no way he's 17. He's like 16 at best. So, you know, I'm not going to hold it against him. Pretty neutral interactions. It's Boogle. I'm assuming this is Bogle. I'm just going to assume. This guy is actually pretty cool for his age. I've known this guy for fucking years, actually. I knew this guy back when I was 14, so this one's an oldie. Not the same tier as Dosa Daniel, but it is definitely, he does get B tier for the merit of, like, I've known him since he was, like, a little kid, and now, you know, he's a lot more grown up. Like, 6 years later, he's, you know, 6 years older, and he's still pretty much, you know, acts the same, so I respect that in a person. KSCT Double D. All right, so KSCT Double D is a pretty cool guy to interact with. I mean, every time I've been really toxic or unreasonable to this guy, he's been pretty neutral with me. And I like that he creates content for the community, and he's more of like a game sense guy, tries to teach people things. I like that about him. Louis MS, neutral, C tier. Majin Bubba, who the fuck are you? I don't know you. Mind Blops. Okay, so Mind Blops, I'll throw in C tier. It's been pretty negative, positive with this guy. Like, I've gotten in calls with him. He's seemed pretty chill, pretty cool. But I don't like that he kind of goes out of his way to piss people off most of the time. Or at least I would assume that's how he acts. But generally, you know, pretty neutral. I'm not going to hold it against him too hard. Mummy's Home. All right, so Mummy's Home is a happy neutral C tier. Pretty average interactions with this person. All right, Nerdflix. This one's going to be pretty long. Me and Nerdflix, I used to hate Nerdflix with all of my fucking heart, honestly. And now that I look back on it, I was being an immature asshole. I hope Nerdflix watches to this point because I gave that guy such a hard time. And he made a video and he said that he kind of pretty much quit Blitz because of me, because of how like toxic I was to him over the years. And it's something I regret because it's hard for me to say this because I kind of have like, you know, a pride streak and it's hard for me to admit things, but I had to, like, prepare myself to say this specific part because I just want to, you know, apologize to him. I really hope that he watches this video. I hope somebody that he knows sends him this video or something. But I feel like me and him could have been really great friends, and I kind of blew it over the years because I was such an asshole, and I wanted to be #1 so bad that I was willing to, like, ignore that these were people, right? And it's definitely one of the worst things I've ever done on the internet to SlyPro and Nerdflix. So, you know, my apologies to them both. Based on how this guy acts, though, and what I've seen of him, I'd say B tier. I've heard word of mouth about him, things that he's done and shit. I think it's just drama, though. I don't really know him personally, but I'd put him in B tier because I've been in some calls with him, and he was very cool to talk to. I just really wanted to get that off my chest, okay? So fucking relax. We can get through these people before the 2-hour mark. This is not going to be a 2-hour video. I fucking promise. Paul Stolarov. All right, Paul Stolarov is another person that I've been very toxic to over the years. It's 2 double whammies in a row. I was very toxic with him for a long, long time, and I'm pretty sure he holds that against me, and he doesn't really like me that much, and I can't really blame him. But generally, I used to talk with him in calls, and he's actually a pretty cool guy. I do not like that he fucking cheats and lies about it a lot, but generally, B tier. Same with Nerdflix. They're pretty much 2 peas in a pod. Same thing. Everything I said about Nerdflix, I said about Paul Stolarov. Is that his whole name? Am I like doxing him right now? I don't know, because like that username just seems like way too specific. Like, why that, you know? But yeah, my apologies to them both. You know, like I'm sure they're very cool people. I just gotta get that off my chest. All right, Schloomp. Schloomp is a very cool guy. Very, very cool guy. I've talked to him before. Definitely one of the most enjoyable, casual conversations I've ever had. And he applied for helper and stuff like that. And, you know, people who go out of their way to apply for these positions, I definitely have respect for. So, definite B tier there. All right, CCLHD. This guy made a lot of content for Blitz back in the day. And he was actually very enjoyable and lighthearted to talk to. Very, very understanding guy. Empathetic. Very amazing to hang around in person, I've heard. So, I'm going to place that guy B tier. Can't really say too much, though. I would put him in A tier if I still knew him, but I have not talked with him in like 5 years or like 4 years, so like it's been a while. All right, so Sproet. I'm gonna put Sproet in a pretty happy neutral C tier. He's pretty actually. Well, should I put him in C tier? I'm gonna throw him up in B tier. Sproet's pretty cool. I see him chatting in Echo's Discord all the time. He's one of the like regulars there in the chat, and I'll interact with him a good bit there. And you know, every interaction, he seems pretty open-minded, pretty reasonable dude, and I feel like I'd like being in a call with him a good bit. Pretty sure he fucking b-hops on his main, though, so, like, that's not too preferable when it comes to, like, behavior on the internet, but, you know, whatever. I got. All right, so a lot of people do not like this guy, and they think he's very rude and very, like, a massive douchebag. But honestly, I've talked with this guy a lot in calls, and I can say he's definitely, I'm thinking like B tier or A tier. I don't know. I haven't talked to him with him all that much. I can't really say. Most people in A or S tier are people I've talked to for a long time. I'm going to put him in B tier. I got as a pretty chill guy, and a lot of people misjudge him a lot. Like, I know that he does it to himself. I know that it's not really anyone's fault that they misjudge him because he goes out of his way to be like, he acts like this asshole, but really, he's actually a really cool and reasonable dude. You'd be surprised. He's a very reasonable person with a lot of very intelligent takes on things. He's a very good guy to conversate with generally. March _. So I barely know this guy. My interactions with him has been very minimal, but it's pretty much like pretty neutral here. Mr. Waffles. Okay, so this guy is a very, very positive person I've heard, and he makes a lot of good content for Blitz apparently, so I'm definitely going to throw him up in B tier. So I really, really appreciate the stuff he does in the Blitz community, and he seems to be really, really kind, so I like that. Pucked. Same with Mr. Waffles. He seems to be a very, very kind guy, so I'm going to throw him up in B tier. Very, very kind, lighthearted person that makes content for the community. I can always appreciate people like that, but I've never really talked with them in depth, so I can't really give them that sweet, sweet A tier spot. I feel like that's kind of exclusive for certain people that I've actually had a lot of interaction with. Or in Mizuo's case, very short interaction, but very, very fun. All right, so Reckless Blade. Honestly, I think I might move Shiban up to A tier. Yeah, I really like talking with that guy. Shiban's a pretty dope-ass motherfucker. Not going to lie. Same with Milnex. I might just move Milnex up to A tier. Yeah, Milnex and Shiban definitely get an A tier spot. I'm going to like look in A tier, B tier a little bit more and move some people around because I think I have some people wrongly placed here. Not in A tier. I definitely have some people in B tier that are wrongly placed, so I'm going to get to that real fast. I definitely think a Cruz is an up-and-comer. I have a lot of fun talking to a Cruz. I know a lot of people misjudge him, but I really do like talking with him. Actually, well, I'm going to keep him in B tier. I'm going to keep him in B tier. He needs to get his shit sorted, and he needs to prove himself a little bit longer to get that sweet A tier spot, but B tier for a Cruz for now. Other than that, though, I feel like those are the only people that I didn't place accurately. Shiban and Milnex were definitely like the ones. I might put Mason in A tier, honestly, because that guy has been honestly a pleasure to interact with. Like, the fact that he like sacrifices his time to make a Blitz update for you guys, this like community that is so toxic and unreasonable, is very awesome, and I really think that he deserves more kudos for that. And every interaction I've had with him has been pretty damn pleasant. As opposed to Sirhun, who was insufferable to like talk to when it came to like Blitz buffs and nerfs, but generally I'd put him in A tier. Deathcrit, honestly, I might sauce up to A tier because that guy, dude, okay, Deathcrit gets A tier. That guy's fucking so cool to chat with. It's like unreal how cool it is to chat with this guy. All right, anyway, moving back down here, we're going to get this done in 14 minutes. Let's do this speed run. STNM, pretty neutral. I haven't had much interaction with this person. 010, all right, I'm just going to get some. Laura Frida, I think, is just neutral, you know. She kind of just like plays Blitz. I've never talked with her or chatted with her. I don't think she knows how, but I think that her existence is kind of like, it's kind of wholesome that she just kind of plays the game casually and doesn't really want to interact with anybody. I like that. Lefty MC, another C tier, neutral interactions there. Borendas, Borendas is actually a pretty cool kid for his age. He's a very cool kid for his age, I'd say. I've talked with him in voice calls a good bit. Not a good bit, but a little bit. And he seems to be pretty enjoyable to talk to for a kid anyway. A lot of people misjudge that guy. Reckless Blade, I'm going to put in C tier. Another happy neutral interaction there. The Cat and Shoes, same with them. Ultimate Infernio, same with them. Very just neutral interactions. Niva, neutral. Sad Karma is actually a pretty cool guy. I like him. A very, very cool, casual guy to talk to. If I ever have a casual friend like, you know, Finsta, like I said earlier with Finsta or KNZ or, you know, Nazir, it's definitely Sad Karma is up there with them. Shooby Dooby, definitely a neutral placement there. Don't really know much about that person. Low interactions. Tame. Okay, so Tame is a genuine C-tier placement in the sense of, like, he's very, very toxic, unreasonable, and frustrating to interact with in text. But in calls, he's actually a really cool kid. And I don't know if that breaks him out of C tier. Honestly, okay, so yeah, I'll give him B tier. I feel like a lot of people misjudge Tame, but the fact that he is very very toxic and obnoxious in chat. I have to give him B tier. I would give him A, but that chat, dude, ugh. Adopted Black Kid is a C tier. I love that fucking username. ADCD is a B tier. I've actually enjoyed my talks with this guy. Like I said, I don't know if him, C. Lonson, and Music is Life are the same person, but ADCD I have interacted with in calls, and I know that it is him, so I will put him in B tier. Very cool guy to talk to. I've talked to him very little, I believe, but it's cool to talk to him. Vortex. All right, so Vortex is a C tier. I rarely interacted with him back in the day, but when I did, he seemed like a pretty chill dude. I would camp lobbies with him a lot, and he kind of seemed like he took the attention that Blitz gave back then in stride, and he didn't really do YouTube or anything, at least to my knowledge he didn't. So I'm just going to throw him in C tier. All right, so Francis _ 7777. So this guy was like the original hacker in Blitz. And I don't really hold that against him, but his personality was pretty decent. He made content for Blitz, but I kind of feel bad for him because he was bullied out of the community for being like the first closet cheater to ever be exposed for anything. So, you know, I do feel bad for him there, but definitely solid C tier placement. Doc M77, like I said with Francis, he pretty much started Blitz. Like he made a lot of content for Blitz. He gave it a lot of traction when it came to YouTube. He gave it a shit ton of traction, and honestly, for that, I'm going to put him C tier. I don't know him as a person, but he did make content for this game, and I cannot thank him enough for all of the traction he gave Blitz at the very beginning. Proline. Honestly, I've heard some things about Proline, and I've heard, you know, I've watched Ali MCC's video about Proline and things like that. And based on all of that and all the things I heard, I trust Ali MCC's word more than I trust anybody else's when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm going to put him in D tier. He seems like a decent guy to be around occasionally, but generally, you know, the fact that he took the game so seriously as a full-grown adult, and the fact that, you know, he did some of the stuff that he did, the shady stuff, gonna put him in D tier, definitely. Jur, all right, so Jur, let's see. Jur is actually a pretty cool dude. I talked to him in calls, and he's actually pretty enjoyable to be around. I used to hate this guy, but, like, you know, obviously I was wrong. I was wrong about a lot of people on this list, honestly. Rumble Crumble, that guy is a very positive person, and versus, like, Doc M and, like, Francis and Vortex, Rumble Crumble just seems like a very positive dude, and he made a map for Blitz, and, like, I've never talked to him personally, but he seemed, like, so positive and nice in his videos, and honestly, the fact that he made an entire map for Blitz and made, like, this like, secret room for his family member who passed away, I feel like this guy is very, very humble, grateful, reasonable, and good person. So I'm going to put him in B tier, honestly. I don't know much about him, but I will say with confidence that he is definitely B tier. YQT 1001. All right, so YQT 1001 is one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. He was honestly a role model to me when I was younger, and I will definitely throw him up in A tier. He is one of the coolest people I've ever met. He was a role model for me, and honestly, to this day, every interaction with him that I have, I honestly appreciate very much because he seems like such a knowledgeable and intellectual person that, you know, honestly, I'm going to put him in S tier. Yeah. YQT 1001 is S tier. He was a role model for me as a kid, and I always, like, when I wanted to act like a certain way, I always looked to YQT on, like, how to behave, you know? Slurf. All right, so Slurf is a C tier, honestly, because I've had some negative and positive reactions with him, and that's, or interactions with him, and that's pretty much it. Valen. All right, so Valen is a whole-ass home shizzle dizzle slice. He is an easy A tier. He is one of my more recent homies that I've been hanging out with. He's very, very easy to talk to. Very positive guy. Very fun to talk with. Honestly, I would throw him up in S tier, but I have not known him for that long. But honestly, well, I feel like I'm being a little bit unfair with the whole, like, S tier, A tier difference with, like, based on how long you've been talking to a person. But at the same time, it is kind of reasonable because S tier are, like, people that genuinely, like, they mean a lot to me. And there are people that I kind of aspire to be in certain ways, and, like, I respect them. And I look up to them in certain ways, and they're people that I am very genuinely good friends with over the years, and I haven't known Valent for that long. So I feel like A tier is the same as S tier in a sense, but S tier is like this other level. It's like an emotional connection on S tier, and with A tier, it's more of like this. It's the highest tier friendly connection possible. So, like, because Valent was like, "You gonna put me S tier, bro? You gotta, like, I'm just explaining this for him and for him alone, like, honestly. So, like, for his peace of mind, you're a very cool guy, man. So, you know, you keep doing what you're doing. I really like talking with you." Original Uzi. So Original Uzi is pretty decent guy to talk with, I'd say. Pretty decent guy to talk with, I'd say. He's very open with his opinion, which is something I can appreciate. But sometimes I feel like he's a little bit too aggro in calls. But you know what? That's all right, you know. He's definitely not one of my great friends, but when I need to talk to somebody on the casual, I will talk to original Uzi. He kind of frustrates me sometimes because it kind of seems like he wants to piss people off in calls. It seems like it entertains him that people like get pissed off in calls with him in them, and like he doesn't seem to care much for how people think of him on the internet. And because of all that, I'll definitely put him in a solid B tier, you know. All right, so 010. Oh my god, I don't want this to be an hour-long video. Please, no. God, 010. Okay, 010 is a very chill guy. I really enjoy hanging out with him a lot. Honestly, he's one of the cooler Dutch people I've talked to. If iLost is the second, then 010 is the third coolest Dutch person that I've ever talked to, and he's a very dope guy. Roadwork. All right, Roadwork is a very reasonable, mature, chill guy that I genuinely enjoy interacting with whenever I do. Honestly, I'm going to throw him up in A tier because I feel like not enough people are up here, and Roadwork is a very chill and mellow motherfucker. I'm just saying. All right, Jaspe, neutral interactions with this person, I'd say. Nothing really past that. Leonard, neutral interactions with this person. Actually, if this is the person that I think it is, I do enjoy chatting with them from time to time, but I'm still going to keep it C tier. Regine Flags, pretty neutral opinion on him, not going to lie. Sircake132, pretty neutral opinion. He seems to be pretty cool for a kid. Honestly, I'm going to put him B tier. Sircake is pretty damn cool for his age. He's like 13 or something, and he's pretty okay to talk to, actually. You know, most kids just like to be annoying on the internet. You know how they are. So, like, you know, seeing a kid that is not annoying on purpose, it's, like, pretty cool. Thylock. Now, I don't know who this is. I think this is an alt account. I'm just going to put them happy neutral tier because I don't know. Hang on. We can just, like name them, see them real quick because I don't know exactly who this is. Thylock. Okay. Who is this? I don't recognize any of these names, really, honestly. Yeah, I recognize the Thylock name, but I don't recognize, like, the past usernames. I'm just going to put him C tier. I'm pretty sure I've had neutral interactions with this person before. Snewy, I really don't like Snewy. I think he's a fucking asshole. It seems like his entire existence on the internet is solely just to piss people off, and I really don't like seeing this person in-game. I've never really seen a redemption arc from this person of any kind. It kind of just seems like his entire existence on the internet is to piss people off, which, like, I really don't enjoy. Very toxic guy, and I've seen, like, no redemption arc from him in sight ever, so, like, you know, whatever. Willem, pretty neutral interactions with this person. Can't really have much of an opinion on them, but it's been pretty positive, pretty positive, neutral kind of place. It's, like, happy neutral, you know? X-Daddy, same with Willem, been pretty neutral with them. YOLOCool 2001. Okay, so YOLOCool 2001 is actually one of the cooler people that I've talked to over the years. I've been pretty hard on this guy for hacking, and he's taken it in stride, so I appreciate that about his personality, and I can respect him for that. So definite B tier. He's very cool to talk to as well. Very funny guy. Zingy Hall. All right, so Zingy Hall. I think Zingy Hall is like the alt of Sasuke and like his own dude in and of himself. I'm just gonna put him C tier, just happy neutral. He used to be a major asshole, but honestly, like, I think he's kind of chilled out now, or at least he is. And Sasuke vouches for him, so I can't judge too harshly, because, like, honestly, I think it was just an act. And I think I've interacted with him. I think I've interacted with him in the past, and it was like pretty, like, okay. Seed the Goat is pretty neutral. I've rarely talked to this person, but when I have, it's been a pretty decent time. You know, pretty good time. Actually, I like talking to Seed the Goat. Actually, he's a pretty cool guy. I don't know why I was like talking about C tier. What am I talking about? Z tier. Fucking Jesus. Zyru. Don't really know this person much. Definitely happy neutral place at Mr. Naruto Blader. Happy neutral. Trev ABC. Pretty happy neutral. Happy neutral. I've never really talked with Trev ABC. I can't really have much of an opinion on them, but when I have interacted with him, it has been pretty good. Droger. Droger seems like a pretty fun guy in calls and stuff like that. He's very helpful. Gives people tips and stuff on Vikings, so, like, you know, why not? I like talking to him in calls, actually. He's one of the cooler Dutch people I've met. He's definitely top 10 Dutch people that I'd like to talk to, because most Dutch people I find pretty toxic and annoying in Blitz, so he's one of the cooler ones, and I appreciate him for that easily. TNT_tag, I don't really know this person. Wait, actually, I do. C tier. Neutral, happy neutral. I've barely interacted with them, though. Sloth through, she's actually really cool. She's very cool. Similar to Gyrobi and, you know, Sofei, she takes the whole I'm a girl on the internet thing and, like, people harass her, make girl jokes to her in stride. I definitely feel bad for girls on the internet because people constantly make jokes to them, and she takes it in stride, and she's very chill, so B tier definitely for me. QTJ is a very cool helper in Blitz that has gone out of his way to help several people, and I really do like his attitude towards the game, and I like his newfound, like, passion for Blitz. It's always nice to see that in newer players. By the way, I'm going to move Trev ABC up to B tier real quick because he's honestly really positive. I give that guy a lot of a hard time a lot of the time. I'm kind of like, not toxic really, but just unreasonable to him, and he takes it in stride, so I do appreciate that, and he is pretty cool. I think I knew him like years and years ago on Skype, and he was pretty cool there too, so I'm just going to put him. Baka Owner. All right, so this guy is going up in A tier. He is definitely one of my higher tier homies. He is very fucking cool. One of the funniest people I've met. Very ironic dude, but in a good way. He knows when to be ironic and when to be serious. Very cool dude. Generally just a really fucking hype guy. Just very, very cool. Alon, I'm going to put in C tier. Don't know much about that person. Happy Neutral Opinion. I will aim on you, Happy Neutral Opinion. I've seen them in chat before, interacted with them a bit. Rastic. Rastic is one of my casual friends that I'll talk to here and there. He's pretty damn cool, not going to lie. So solid B tier placement for him. 5 Snap. All right. 5 Snap is C tier placement. I don't like how he acts most of the time, but I'm sure he's just a dude. You know, he's just kind of there to, you know, maintain 5. Why not? Okami, I have no fucking clue who this is, not going to lie. Saltban, one of my better friends, not going to lie. I like talking with this guy, chatting with him casually. You know, if Shiban is up in A tier, Saltban is down in B tier because I casually kind of hang out with him. He's definitely one of my more casual, out-of-the-way friends that I chat with here and there. One-Way Track. One-Way Track is actually pretty cool. Every time I see him comment in my comment section, I always, like, respond to him. It's always nice. Always a pleasure to interact with this guy. He seems really laid back and chill, so that's pretty cool. Q9J, pretty neutral C-tier placement. I type with them a good bit. Adaranion, C-tier placement. Okay, holy shit. That is the Blitz Players Personality Tier List. Holy fuck. Okay, so if you've watched to the end, you are an absolute trooper, and I love you and appreciate you so much. Thank you for giving me, like, the watch time, the ad revenue, the view, everything. I appreciate everybody that's watched this video to hell. You would not believe. All right, so I hope you guys appreciated the video, and I hope you guys liked that I sat down and talked for 2 fucking hours about people's personalities on a block game community. So, holy shit, I just talked for 2 hours straight. My chest hurts. My brain hurts after all of that. I hope that nobody takes anything I've said about them personally. I did not reveal anything too personal about anybody that I placed in lower tiers. If you're a fan of mine, please do not go out of your way to repeat what I've said about certain people back to them. That is disrespectful, and I would not appreciate it if you did that. And I don't appreciate it. I don't. I just objectively do not appreciate that. Please do not do that. This is the longest video on my channel to date. I don't think I'm going to beat this. I'm kidding. I'm going to beat this soon. You guys will see. But, a lot of good content coming for the future. Holy shit. If I don't upload for a couple days, fuck off. All right. You can fuck off. You can get out of my face. I just talked about people's personalities for 2 hours. So, you know, you can definitely suck it up and deal with it. All right. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next video. Definitely. So, yeah, holy shit. Comment below what you thought. I don't know. Like the video, maybe. Like, give me some validation for talking about people for 2 hours. I don't fucking know, please. Maybe. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Duck, duck, dog. Signing out. Holy shit. Yeah, duck, duck, dog signing out. All right.